and schemes of slimy curse offer up their flute. Am I beast or am I human? Am I just like you? Power seething, really reeling, reaching out for you. Am I demon? Need to know. Faces of a million hells rage inside these veins, pounding out deserved pain to anyone in need. Am I beast or am I human? Am I just like you? Power seething, really reeling, reaching out for you. Am I demon? Need to know. Am I demon? Need to know. Every word and every limb torn asunder, base. Everything I need is me. Everything I am. Am I beast or am I human? Am I just like you? Power seething, really reeling, reaching out for you. Am I demon? Need to know. Am I demon? Need to know.
Yeah, it's Yoko. Dropping translations and dropping the truth. Yeah, coming straight from the Jinguji Sapporo code. Let me tell you a story about a kid from my old neighborhood. The digital streets are cold. We booted up in the same retro detective scene, ripped by the face right out of the machine. Just a little boy with the heart condition, taking his pills, peeing all over the place against his own free will. Couldn't control it. It was sad but it's true. A constant state of pure potentiality brewing for you. So face grabbed the boy and locked him in the core. The potential pitch generated power in the floor. Yeah, he's the peak kid, fueling the system with his might, turning all that wasted tension.
Hey Ryan, we're getting started as soon as people are around. I was thinking, I got Carl set up. I am on a bender right now. I'm on a tear. I am not happy about this. The fucking nerve. They always say, I'm going to tell everything. I have all the things up. I have the video, unless it like gets blocked or something. Hopefully it doesn't disappear. If the video disappears, then I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't. But maybe we should get baked. Yeah, you want to smoke weed first? We can. I'm down. Now hold on. I shouldn't say out loud. It's still 95 minutes in the YouTube video. I'm not supposed to say that yet. We can though. Yeah, let's do that. It's Carl. My alien character is Carl. Carl. Anyway, sorry you're blind. Oh, I can't land the right button, can I? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Sorry. Gay. We got our pride flag up there, so they can't hurt us now. Okay. The conversation, it was kind of fun. I gotta be honest, it was kind of fun. Typical crypto idiot. Me or who's the crypto idiot? Why are you saying crypto idiot? It was kind of fun, to be honest with you. It was kind of fun. It kind of. I knew I was bothering them. I knew they were getting bothered. They acted like, oh, I want to talk to you, And then the second I asked, can you give me a definition of that? They got really upset. I don't want to spoil, I guess don't bury the lead. But I won so bad from chat that they had to block me from their entire channel forever. Like, they're trying to pretend to, like, they're open to, oh, it's unlisted. Well, it's unlisted, it's not private though. It's unlisted, it's not private though. Very interesting they unlisted that. Very interesting they unlisted that. The regular VODs aren't unlisted, but this one is. Maybe they'll private it. I sure hope they don't private it and then we miss. Is there a way to download it now? Yeah, let me make sure it's not gone. No, they're still talking. Okay. It's just unlisted. We're good. We're good, it's just unlisted. I guess they think, like... I don't know why they would think I wouldn't be able to see it if it's unlisted. I know they feel embarrassed about it, and that's why it's unlisted, I would assume, because I won from chat. That's a rare thing, right? Cue it so it doesn't disappear. I have it loaded. I have it loaded. I don't know, I'm hoping it queues some of the time. We're close to where I was. It says unlisted. If they find the stream right now, I don't know how they'd find it though. I'm on a different name. Cracky, I was as Cracky Rules 5 in there. However, it does under Cracky Rules 5 say the new channel. So it's possible that they are on that one. But can you believe like they're acting like they're like one of those open-minded. I have my pipe here. You ready, Riot, for that or no? Now I think we should keep the gay flag up for a while. We need some protection from this, you know? We need it. You ready? Okay, let's smoke. We need some protection, because if we don't show our gay allegiance, they're gonna go after us for sure. They call me all the names, and I didn't say anything. They call me all the names. Why can you believe I was called the MAGA chud? They said J Dyer. They said made by Jimbob, which I thought I kind of like that one. I mean, I don't know J Dyer well enough. I don't really watch him. I do watch Jimbob though. Yes, sir. This catgirl. I'm gonna call him a catgirl. This catgirl, by name, said made by Jimbob and J Dyer. So there's a Jimbob enemy hate watcher. I would assume so. Yeah, right. I know people think he's dumb and like trying to dunk on him. I know it's because my brother did it one time. He brought him up without saying his name, like, and I was like, he's talking about Jimbob. Like, it was like saying some guys he watched made fun of him, but I'm like, wait a second, that's Jimbob he's talking about. Can't ma'am. Okay, I gotta be careful, okay? I gotta be careful, I'm doing this on YouTube, okay? Your brother knows who well, he knows some of the commies that Jimbob got in a fight with. Two of the commies. They do like a call-in show or something, and they went to Jimbob's chat. What happened was Jimbob challenged them to a debate. They said no, but they said you can come on our stream, and he said I'm not doing that. And then they went to his chat, like bugging him, like, what are you, a coward? Do you want to come on our stream? But he said no, I'll go on a debate. I'll go on a moderated thing where there's a middle ground, right? There's a moderator, but I'm not going to just go on your thing so you can control the way the conversation goes, is what he said, right? And they acted like he was a coward for that, but he challenged them first. They then replied with the invitation. Yeah, I know, but he's still my brother, and he's smart enough, man. I don't know, one day I'll figure his stuff out, but it's okay, you know, whatever, man. It's only one of them. And he's still he's not that bad in a lot of ways, so, but yeah, I don't want to get too into that. They're both way too different sides. Yeah, on the other side of the rebel alliance, right? We're on the rebel side. They're on the empire side. It's okay though, whatever, man. I'm hoping to stop the war before it ever gets that bad, you know? That's my goal, so I don't know if I will, but I would like to stop the war before it ever gets bad. But anyway, he mentioned all those things, right? So I thought that was kind of funny. I'm hoping they don't make it private, because that would be really crappy when I got it all queued up. I still got my chat. I kept my chat open because I was, you know, I figured I wouldn't be able to load the VOD again. And I was right. It starts with them, of course, talking about Japan. I'll give you that. I'll give you that clue. I signed up. Oh, did you on scam board? Let me get your points. Let me get your points for you. Nice, I see ya. We got. That's really nice. We got 12, counting me, 11 signups. I feel that's doing pretty good for like some kind of project like this. Already we already got 12 people on there. Okay, I'm logged in as me, so I can go to the admin thing. Okay. And then just open your pack. Remember, you can flash your thing to get an extra 100 points if you type scam in chat and brandish your card. You get an extra 100 points. Dingus did it, so you wouldn't be the first one to do it. Dingus did it. Oh, I baked. I wrote that twice. Nice. Yeah, you can get once per week. You can get an extra 100 points for scam card brandish. I'm excited that I'm finally going to cover some kind of drama that I'm kind of involved in. We're starting drama. Firing the first salvo. Starting drama. Starting YouTube drama. Firing over the bow. I guess I don't know if I'll put their name in anything, because I think it's funnier to call them to put the title I'm gonna put it. Now, could I get in trouble? I don't know. Find out, right? I don't know. Maybe. There's only some things you're allowed to say, right? But it was a very interesting. I'm gonna smoke one more time. How much do you want to smoke, right, before we get? I definitely think it's probably a good idea. I should definitely be very Carl-y. That'll also risk the world, though, doesn't it? But it's fun. It's fun. Isn't it wild calling me a MAGA chud? Huh? Look at my gay flag, bro. No, I'm not gay, but I got a flag in the back. So. I have the gay flag, man. It's up. Give me a break. Give me a break. I got the gay flag up. It says gay back there. Come on. I pledge allegiance to the. Wait a second. I pledge allegiance to the. For some reason, I wanted to sing that part. Pledge allegiance to the. But when I get to the last word, my tongue tries to say something else. It's weird. That's weird. It's weird. Pledge allegiance to the. I can't do that. My tongue keeps trying to say something else every time. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, let's give it a couple more minutes tonight to see if anybody else shows up that wants to. I know lots of people would like this that are viewers. Where are they? Wake up, guys! Wake up! Wake up! It's the morning. Carl in the morning. What's up, Pluton? I mean, I've seen say Jewish Nazi people are dumb. Now you're just a gay MAGA chud. Yeah, true. You're going backwards, sweet John. But I think it'll be interesting to cover nonetheless. I owned this cat girl. I'm gonna call them a cat girl the whole time. Okay, that's what I'm gonna call them. I'm going to call them a cat girl. I make no promise of what you should call them. In fact, I don't have to look at chat all the time, you know. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I don't see it. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Obviously watch your P's and Q's, especially on YouTube. Watch your P's and Q's. Don't listen. The Emperor is watching. The Eye of Sauron is above us. I have the gay flag up, but it can only do so much. It can only do so much. It can only protect us so much. I'm gonna smoke one more time, and then I think we get started. You think already? I mean, it's what I got for material here. Oh, you know what we should do? We should go a little bit earlier, right? But then I'm risking to like make the video private or something. Arg. I think I should go a little bit early, so you get like an impression of the person before we get to the moment of truth. I know they didn't like me from the start. You can tell. They're like 1 second. They're like one sliver away from calling me names from the very start. Like they're trying to seem like I'm a reasonable person. I put up with you. Look at what I get banned for, though. Just wait till you see what I get banned for. Okay? I've almost banned no one in my chat. I leave it open to almost anyone. The few people that banned were like actual like snorch. Like long-time viewers that became real pains in the ass and weird or something, or you know, I don't ban normal people really. Like people say all kinds of rude things to me and I don't ban them. And here's the thing: I didn't say a single rude thing. That's what's mind-blowing is I didn't say anything rude to this person. They just are so scared of ideas. Like conflicting ideas. And what's wild is like how much they put in their title, like everyone's welcome. Oh, unless you ask a very simple question. Unless you ask a very simple question, then you're not so welcome. Unless you ask a very normal question that anybody can ask. And I noticed they were ducking the question, so I kept asking it. I basically stopped going on. Like what they were trying to do, they trying to like start doing like examples and stuff and get me off, like trying to just win me over through some side roundabout way, and I just kept asking the question, and that's when I get banned. And it's not a rude question. It's not even a ridiculous question. To me, honestly, I was kind of surprised I got banned. I was like, am I owning that bad? Am I winning that bad from chat? I won from chat. How often do you win from chat? How often do you win from chat? And the whole chat, what's funny too, is like the whole chat stops talking. Like there were all kinds of people talking while I was hanging out there, and then all of a sudden, no one's talking. It's just that they're just looking for what I'm gonna have to say, and everyone's sitting there waiting pretty much. The whole atmosphere to everything changes. It goes from everyone's welcome, theist, whatever, atheist. Here's the thing, I'm not even like a religious person. I'm what, agnostic or something? I don't know, deist, or I don't even know what I believe in the truth. I worship the truth, the pursuit of the truth. What do you call that? Religiously so, right? Religiously so. That's what I believe in, worshiping the truth. Now, I don't know if there is a God, but it is kind of implied maybe. But do I have an answer to that? No. I don't know. No. I think they call it agnostic, right? That kind of belief. Nature. Yeah, like the nature of reality itself, I believe in. Because, I mean, obviously there's like laws, like natural laws. I believe in natural laws. Yes. I believe in natural laws, yeah. So this individual has and they're not a very big channel either, which is kind of funny. What first struck me about this individual is the difference between the thumbnail and sure, somewhere nearby. Was the difference, I linked Riot, the difference between the thumbnail and the impression. I don't mean the looks. Let's not say the looks, because that's not, you don't talk rude about someone's looks. I'm not doing that. I have a giant round green head. But, yes, I call people freaks sometimes, but I'm not judging looks. I'm judging vibe. I'm vibe checking. I roll the vibe check on the thumbnail, right, and I get one number, and then I roll the vibe check. But no one's good, really, right, is what you're supposed to think, I think. No man is good. Nobody is good ever. I think they say that. I think you're not supposed to consider yourself good, no matter what you believe, right? You're always on a path to trying to be good, right? To be better, whatever thing. Be less bad. Be less bad. Be less messed up. Yeah, I got this ready. Okay, I got the chat filled up to where I start talking. So let's pull up the actual video. Let's see, what time is that at? It's like at the end when they're ending it. I make them end too. I KO'd from chat. I guess they're probably gonna leave anyways, because they're probably like, the stream 2 hours, goodbye. It's a big day at work for them. You know, they got to listen. 2 hours is a long time, okay? 2 hours is a long stream. I'm sure they were all pooped. Alright? I'm sure they were totally pooped. So, I'm sure they had important things to do. I'm sure they did. Now, I think we just pull it up now, right? Okay, after this song we will. I'm gonna smoke one more time, maybe that wants to. We're gonna have to put away the gay flag. We're not gonna the protection of the gay flag. We're going into alert mode, guys. There's something alert button. This one. Alert mode! Sorry, I just yelled too loud. Alert mode, alert mode! Red alert! Get rid of the red alert, we're going into enemy territory. How do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of the oh, there we go. Red alert! Yeah, smoke one more time, then we're gonna go. Alright, I'm ready. Now, first off, let's talk about the claims, the MAGA chud thing. I would never vote. So, first off, wrong. Oops. First off, wrong. You imagine me voting? Are you fucking kidding me? These people pretend like they're in the center, but they're commie. They're clearly not in the center. They're clearly political activists disguised, and I caught on to it too, right? I mean, first I was like, okay, I'm sure this is going to be political nonsense in here somewhere, right? Because they were going on about like the nature of thought and stuff like this, and I'm like, so how is this going to turn around to being about your politics? Because, well, you'll see in a second. We'll pull them up in 1 second. When the song is almost over. Okay, here we go. Get ready. So my first issue is the disorientation from the thumbnail, which you'll see on the screen in a moment, and the vibe. Just the vibe. Not, again, don't, people's looks are not important. I'm a round-headed individual with no hair and no nose. So I am not talking about people's looks. I'm not. But maybe no. It's just shocking. It's just a little shocking. How do I get this on the screen? Ooh, Did anybody see that? Not we. It says weebs on there, and then it says not weebs on the Nazi. The Nazi's gassing. It's do you see the gas? The Nazi is gassing all the weebs in this image. It shouldn't be in there, right? It shouldn't be in there. That's it's not right. That should be else. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm fixing it. Hold on, guys. It's fine. I'll get it. 1 second. Okay. I don't even see myself anymore. Okay, start. Oh, I didn't start it. That was the problem. There we go. Okay. Can you stay still, man? Can you stay still, please? Okay. Let's get the smoke out of here. All right, let's see. Is this the right spot? What are you talking about? Let's see.
It's okay for cultures to be racist.
Oh, yeah, this is already too late. Sorry, this is already too late. This is already too late. This is already too late. I want to go before they start talking about this. It's already too late.
We start discussing whether race.
Already too late. Already too late again. Still okay. How about here?
Lie because his memory was so bad because of alcohol. Yeah, I mean he's not.
All right, so let's get that. I think from here is fine. We'll let it play from here. I have it pulled up where I start talking. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything, but we'll start from here.
Well, you can't accuse him of lying.
We'll just start from here.
So
he was talking about like philosophy. Maybe I should go even further back so you get a better idea of this individual. Let's go further back.
Temporary anonymous chat or one that had access to your profile. You have to
further back. Uh-oh. You're gonna load or
yeah.
There we go. Nice. Okay.
That was fun.
Scared
Another
again.
15 minutes to go, guys. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to chat about? Talk about AI some more? I don't know. I'm not in the mood to go.
So from the second of entering the room, I'm like, okay, somehow this is going to be about politics, right? What gave me that opinion? I'm trying to duck. Hold on. What gave me that opinion? That opinion.
Go over that article anymore. That article was brain drippingly bad. It really was. Like, I fed it into an AI, guys. I fed it into an AI. Like, if you're gonna feed questions into an AI and you're gonna declare it to be like some sort of neutral arbiter, you need to show the full prompts. You need to show the full transcripts, the model and the version, the date and the time, the system instructions, whether memory was enabled or disabled, whether you reran it, whether you did this on a.
Let's skip ahead. This is kind of boring, right? This isn't interesting.
Temporary anonymous.
Hey, anonymous.
That had access to your framings that would that might not favor Christianity or favor other religions. You know, until then, it's not evidence. So that's what people get wrong about AI.
Okay, let's just skip to
understand how to use it, and I do. It's weird. Xenophobia is no cultural construction.
Oh, this is already after, because I said
Weird.
This is before. Actually, yeah, we actually have to sit through this stuff.
Talk about AI some more.
Somewhere around here is when they read it.
But I'm gonna call it racism. So
there we go. There we go. Okay, so hold on. This was the first time the mouse. Strong argument. Strong argument. Strong argument. Good one.
Here, and your culture has.
Let's keep going. This is you can guess where this starts. Okay, so originally it started even earlier than this. Okay, we're at what 142. I gotta get the initial comment. It's not gonna make sense. I think.
For example.
There we go. This is it. I got it. Perfect. Okay, go back. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Correct. On to something with natural law, maybe.
Here's how it starts. Here's how it starts. Here's how it starts. Right here.
What proof is there that the cultural morals are correct? It started.
Now, see, this person says that basically they give this long explanation why they're conformist. I guess we should actually go to that. I think that starts here somewhere.
It's a valid criticism. I mean, it could be a valid criticism.
It's right? A lot of, you know, fart huffing, though, so it takes a while.
If you're trying to be an aggressive atheist, but if you...
Well, like, what's wild is they're acting like they'll talk to anyone, and then I ask a very simple question, and like, you are banned forever. Goodbye.
You're trying to just have...
I didn't even say a rude thing. I didn't even say anything rude. I didn't even act any weird way. You could tell I make them uncomfortable from the first question, though. You'll see.
Atheists about, you know, faith, it may not be the most fair criticism to bring up.
So basically, they say something like, I'm trying to find it, but they say something like, their moral view is not based on their relative view. It's instead based on cultural morals. Like, they accept what everybody else accepts, which is like, what? So you just go along with the crowd? Is that,
your own understanding?
Hold on, I gotta protect this. Hold on. Pluton. Listen, do you see the flag? Shh. you doing? Okay. I can only cover us for so long. I can only sell us for so long. Okay?
Good and evil is not knowledge. I agree. If I hurt you, you know it's wrong thing to do. No need to learn from others. John,
Yeah, I think he'll go into it here, maybe.
You're not
I mean, what did I just say?
born with that idea. So, like, you don't understand what pain is until you learn what pain is. A child
That doesn't really
know
make
what hot
sense.
is until it touches the hot spot.
You don't think the baby, no point the baby feels? I don't know about that.
Right? Like, I mean,
How do you have in your brain the things to translate to the thing if your brain doesn't know what it is?
well, they don't know what the word is.
Not just the word, their brain knows how to tell you that it's painful before you know what the concept is. So it's not really true. It doesn't like form new connections the first time you feel pain. I don't think that you'd have to prove that.
You can't prove that they don't know what the concept.
Not the concept. You have to prove that we don't have like our brain doesn't translate like the new neural connections form the first time they feel pain. You have to prove that.
Of hot.
I don't think hot. Same with hot. You have to prove that because what happens is the receptors on your skin, right, transmit with like an electric signal or something, some kind of signal to your brain, and then your brain knows what it is, right? It goes, it's make it hurt. Like your brain interprets it. Without your brain knowing what to do with it, what would it do? Like it does. You do know what it is already.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to get into that.
Pain is literally hardwired into it. Exactly, right? Isn't that? That's like, what are you talking about? Same with heat. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Study.
Saying you never experienced it before isn't the same as saying you don't know what it. You don't know what it is. Like your mind doesn't know. It does know.
But you don't necessarily.
And you don't because you don't have to see it. You feel it, right? Like if you had to see it, but you don't.
Pain is when you're born.
That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. Also, when you're born, that's assuming the baby didn't go through any pain whatsoever. How's it kicking and stuff? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. No? Like, huh? As if they have no sensation until they're out of the womb? That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
You don't really know those concepts. You don't know if it's
You don't know the concepts. That doesn't mean anything.
good or not.
Good or not, it hurts.
And I mean, like, what is good or bad in this context? Because now you're talking about being stabbed. Well, being stabbed with what and with what intention and in what context? That
You're telling me that you wouldn't be able to figure out without knowing what being stabbed is?
that is learned. A child learns.
There are different forms of pain. Pretty sure you don't know what heartbreak is until you experience. Well, now hold on. Heartbreak is a very specific one. In that way, if you meant heartbreak specifically, then I would be open to that to saying that. But he said pain. It's a pain.
That being stabbed hurts, but they also learn that being stabbed by a doctor with a needle isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just painful. So you don't necessarily
Painful is bad to you by default. No?
know being stabbed is right or wrong. You learn it over time.
I've never been stabbed. Why do I not want to be stabbed? That right? Why do I not want to be stabbed? I've never been stabbed, but I don't want to be stabbed. I don't understand how you say that. Because I've never felt being stabbed, according to this logic, right? So
I mean, it's an interesting point, but
okay, somewhere in here is where I talk,
Eternal
okay?
Moral compass. Perhaps you are on.
Or something he says.
Natural law, maybe.
Oh no, we're still waiting for him to get his
Proof is
worldview.
there that the cultural morals are correct. It started many wars. Nobody said cultural morals are correct. But
They say that they believe in like what culture believes. Like they just follow
they're
current
just what
cultural
you go with.
norms. They say they don't agree because they're looking for a higher power, but they don't have one. And so what they say is that they just trust like the norms of society as something that's developed that they can trust. But that's just saying I just go along with the group because I don't know, right?
Do you think the cultural moral fabric of America is correct today? Do you think the cultural moral fabric of France is correct today?
Here we go, though. This is
How
where
about
I
the
get
cultural
involved.
moral fabric of South Africa? What about Russia or China? Japan?
Here we go.
They have some good. Every country or the Scandinavia region, the cultural moral
Here we
fabric,
go.
is that correct? Because they all have.
Now, I want to find them putting that into words, though, so I'm not just repeating it. So we're at 140. Let me go a little bit further back. Let me see real quick when I
Barely
find
sitting in
that.
space, going. Felicia thinks this is good. Felicia,
Yeah, this is it, actually. Let's go back, okay? They explain it here.
very hesitant to say that. I'm very hesitant to say that I follow what my intuition of right and wrong is.
But listen to this.
It's right and
This is like this blew my mind. This like the most fart huffy way of saying, no, I know I'm poisoning the well. I don't mean to do that. Just listen, and then I'll tell you what I think.
wrong is. I necessarily don't. I follow the network I'm a part of.
You hear this?
And keep in mind that goes deeper than just me as
Do you hear this?
a unit, because it goes into my brain structure, it goes into the network relation in my brains,
You
the
hear this?
neurons and all that stuff as well. So there's no like there's no like Felicia here, right?
You hear
There's
this?
no Felicia here just necessarily sitting in space going Felicia
But they did say they are trans. They are definitely objectively trans, but they don't exist also. Okay.
thinks this is good. Felicia thinks this is bad. There is Felicia here who is saying these patterns have worked for me.
Uh-huh.
Agreeing with these things have worked for me.
Listen to their standards.
I necessarily agree with these
Try to follow this logic anywhere. Try to follow this logic out anywhere.
other things.
And tell me this isn't just them just saying, I agree with whatever the consensus is and I don't think for myself.
Because these are derivations of other things I have agreed with and other things that have worked for me and my family unit and my friends units and things
Literally
like that.
saying, I just follow the crowd.
There's no necessarily individual vote of confidence here.
Isn't that crazy?
So it's interesting, but like from my point of view, it's not an individual node has made this flag and magically come across, a set of morals that haven't.
They don't think that they themselves are the determiner of understanding what's right and wrong. And they just say the group is.
Agrees
Crazy.
It's this unit in a network of relations has
Unit in a network of relations.
has not conformed. That's not the word I'm looking for.
It is. Yeah, the Freudian slip. Yeah, it is. That is what you're looking for. You know it. Yeah, say it again.
Has not conformed.
Yep, conformity. That's exactly what you're looking for. Correct. Conformity. That's exactly what you're doing. Correct. Yes, that is known as conformity, the opposite of cowardice. Correct.
That's not the word I'm looking for.
No, sorry, courage, not cowardice. Sorry, back up. The opposite of courage is not cowardice. That's why that was associated in my brain. It is conformity. Correct?
Has agreed with the consensus.
Yeah, you just think by consensus. That means you don't think. You're saying I don't think. That's ridiculous.
On the rest of the network.
You're literally saying I don't think. I don't think. I have nothing independent about me that thinks. Nothing. All I do is reflect the connections around me. That's insane.
That's kind of like what it is there. From my point of view on what morals.
Literally, your morals are just conformity? That can't be right. Then how do some people stand up and say, no, my morals are different than that? How does that ever happen? How do you ever have someone in a group stand up, like that guy in the picture, standing up, looking around, and everybody looking at him and say, no, I don't agree with that? How does that ever happen if what morals are is just your surrounding connections?
So, And to be fair, I
It
mean,
would never happen. If your theory had any weight whatsoever, you never have someone in a family disagree with the morals of everyone else in the family, right? It would never happen. Hey, Nintendo. It would never happen. It would never happen. Am I wrong?
like the thing that keeps like the atheist online community like honest is that
Is consensus with each other? Is that what you're going to say? Did you hear the moral argument putting forth?
a lot of people ignore or don't pay any attention to the other side of the atheist community that doesn't necessarily.
Their morals are a node, not even a node in a network, not even a node in a network. They are just a reflection of the surrounding network and norms and consensus. They even said consensus, and they conform with it. Then they go, no, not conform. That's not what I mean. I mean consensus.
Necessarily share in secular humanism. That doesn't necessarily share the model.
Now this right here is where I'm like, okay, I know this is going to get political, whether I like it or not, even though this seems like a non-political topic, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to get political. This is one of those individuals that are political no matter what, right? It's all around the politics.
Values of a secular humanist or
I realized it at this part when they say that this part.
Anyone else
right
like myself, right? They don't pay attention to the Pine Creeks of the world. They don't pay attention to the other atheists of the world. I mean, they pay attention to them, but not in the same exposure that these current
What are you
generation of atheists are getting. So, you know, not all atheists are the same. We don't all share the same morals. We don't all share the same values. I know plenty of atheists who hate my guts because I'm trans. Plenty.
Now they make it all about them the whole time. When they start talking to me, they make it about them, just like this too, right? You're like, I'm talking. Are we not talking about things? They make it about themselves every single thing. Every single thing, it's about them. During the conversation I have with them, they do the same thing. Out of nowhere, start being like, I'm blah 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 blah. Who asked?
Plenty of atheists.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm trans.
Who fucking asked about that?
I know plenty of trans people who claim I'm not trans.
Who asked? So what does that mean for the whole
So like,
I thought pause for a second.
You know, there's no one cohesive unit there.
Right, so what does that mean?
Which again goes to the frayed edges explanation. These are people who are in their friends groups, who are in their
let's go back to 140 where we were, okay? Let's go back.
Public, also, they all have positive results. They all have Scandinavia region. The cultural moral fabric, is that correct? Because they all have Scandinavia correct today. How about the cultural moral fabric of South Africa?
Uh-huh.
What about Russia or China? Japan?
The way they say Japan.
They have some good...
Once I heard Japan, I'm like, oh no, I know exactly where this is going.
Every country or the Scandinavia region.
I know exactly where this is going.
Is that correct? Because they all have positive...
Do you guys know where this is going already?
Positive aspects to them, right? They all have positive results, but they all have also very negative results too. In Japan, for example...
You guys know where this is going yet?
Very clean country, very efficient country, very well run, well.
Why do you say railways? Why do you say railways? What concept are you trying to associate in people's mind that you bring up railways? The trains run on time. Where's that phrase from? What are you trying to associate Japan with that they do not deserve, by the way? You have no grounding to paint them this way. But nonetheless, the trains run on time, okay? And what are you saying? The trains always ran on time. What, in reference to what are you trying to prime people to think about?
Organized train system.
Why mention train system specifically? Because you're trying to make them think of the trains always run on time, right? You're trying to prime them for a specific kind of thought.
Public transit system.
Trains, you say, not public transit. You don't say subway. You don't say bullet train. You say... trains run on time.
They do a lot of excellent things. They're extremely racist.
Now, can you guess why I started talking? Can you guess why I started talking or what I'm going to say now? Because this is where I'm like, okay, I know, okay, all right, this is going to be one of those. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be foolish enough to try to talk to a person that I know is going to make this political. I know they're going to call me names. I'm going to walk into the wolves' den. I know they're going to talk shit. I know they're going to smear me. I know it's coming, right? But I say to myself, no. You gotta try. You gotta try and use their own logic against them. So I try to think, okay, how does this individual think? I try to understand them. First, I think about saying, hey, it's kind of racist to say Japan is racist. I thought about saying that. I'm like, no, that argument won't have any weight. That argument won't have any weight. They won't get it. They'll say no, and I'm like, like, what am I supposed to, what's my argument here? What case do I make against that? And in what way is that fair to say about a whole country? In what way can you judge a whole country like that? That's what I say to myself, right?
Japan is an extremely racist country.
Again, by what metric? By what metric? How do you judge that? How do you even say that? How are you not racist in yourself saying that?
Especially if you're a Black American.
Uh-huh. You hear this?
So, I would...
Xenophobic isn't racist. Well, yeah, I get into that too, because they start saying it's xenophobia. You'll see in a second.
I would be hesitant to say that any culture has any good moral, has any, good basis for being labeled correct or incorrect.
Now, see that logic right there. I don't think any culture, right? I don't think any culture, follow this logic with me. I don't think any culture has basis for being correct or incorrect. So how can I point out a flaw in their reasoning? Do you guys know what I'm trying to do? Do you know what I'm trying to do? Can you guess now? They think that social constructions, social relative terms, concepts, cannot necessarily, even if accepted as true, be morally right or morally wrong. But I notice something. They're considering something supremely wrong. Correct? Which thing is it? What are they considering supremely wrong?
Correct or incorrect?
It can't be, as a cultural norm, it can't be correct or incorrect. But what are they saying?
To say that any culture has any good... I would be hesitant, Black American. They're extremely racist.
And how is that bad? How is that bad? By cultural norms. So how do you use those cultural norms to judge themselves? How do you use the same rubric to judge it? You're talking from within a cultural standard, correct? So guess what I said?
Japan is an extremely...
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? By what metric do you judge them? By your morals. Where do your morals come from? Your cultural norms. So you can't even say that you're correct in this being a bad thing. Am I wrong? Logically, you have no grounding.
Racist country.
To make that claim and say it like it's a bad thing. You have no grounding to make that claim. Because everything you're saying is grounded in cultural norms.
Black American. So
am I wrong?
I would be hesitant to say that any culture has any good moral, has any,
Again, hesitant to say any culture except yours, right? For some reason, your culture has good. You can say what's good and bad. You said a minute ago, again, to be logically consistent, this individual said that their opinion of what's right and wrong comes from their surrounding network, which means what? Their culture, right? They live by their cultural norms, which is what they're saying. And then they say it's wrong. How do they do that? They just said they can't say any cultural norms are right or wrong. How can he say that?
For being labeled correct or incorrect.
Do you see? How do you stand by that? How is this not logically inconsistent? How are you not in a contradiction?
How do you learn before you can listen? That is the way it should be.
So anyways, I'm pissed off, right? I'm like, the logic doesn't make sense. I'm going to try to solve. I'm not pissed off yet. I'm pissed off now in real time. I'm not pissed off then in the chat. In the chat, I'm saying, okay, try. I know they're going to call me names. They always do. I know they're not going to understand where I'm coming from. I know they're just going to talk shit. I know they're going to write me off. But I'm going to try anyway.
How do you... How do you learn before?
And now you watch what happens.
Listen, that is the way you should be. You have a... So this goes back to my black box analogy. Life is a black box. Reality is a black box. You learn by probing the black box. But you yourself are actually part of the black box.
What part of the black box is racism? Again, cultural norm.
Right? You probe the black box, and in order to learn...
How do you say that the black box has a structural part of it that's called racism? Huh? Like, how does this logic maintain itself?
Things about yourself.
How do they not see the contradiction in what they're saying?
As part of the black box, you get feedback from the system.
If I'm wrong, guys, point me out, shoot me, whatever. Get a gun and shoot me where I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm not right that this is logically inconsistent, let me know.
So how do you learn that pain is bad? You experience pain. You get hurt. You cry. Mom tries to soothe you.
Because again, where is the race? It's racist objective. Like, where are they making the claim that it's racist and then the claim that racism is bad? By what rubric do they use? What method do they use? What system do they use to determine it's bad if the only way they know right and wrong is from cultural norms?
How do you
say it's bad?
Good.
Exactly. How do you know anything's good? How do you know anything's bad?
Hungry.
You don't. You just use cultural norms. How do you know you're right and not wrong?
You cry. Mom feeds you. You're no longer hungry anymore. You no longer have the pain of hunger. You're no longer crying. How do you know pooping yourself is bad? You do it all the time in diapers.
You're telling me you think that people know not to poop themselves because they pooped themselves as a baby? That's ridiculous.
Eventually, you learn that...
You're telling me babies go, oh, I'm tired of sitting in my own poop. No.
Pooping is causing you rashes, and you also...
Oh my God, they don't know that. Their parents aren't letting that happen.
You learn that the other adults poop in toilets.
The other adults? What? The baby goes, hey, wow, look at these other adults. Huh?
So you learn to poop in a toilet.
Hey, Dingus. Welcome, Dingus. Good timing. Good timing. So, to catch you up, to catch everyone up that's tuning in, this individual, so far, has established their worldview. They believe that they do not decide what's right and wrong from an individual level. They're not a node that decides what's right and wrong. Instead, they're a part of a network, and they use the surrounding network, like what's good, things that have worked for them and for their family, they said, and what other people around them agree with. So consensus. They find out said consensus. And they even said conform. And then they're like, no, I don't mean that. So they mean conform with their cultural norms, right? And then they judge Japan and say, there's no proof that, you can't say cultural norms are good or bad because you have places like Japan that are extremely racist. And so, of course, I have to speak up on that, and it'll happen anytime now. You'll see. And I think they're logically inconsistent because I think it's incoherent because I don't see how you can judge Japan as racist by your cultural norms.
Like
I'm spoiling what I'm going to say a little bit.
This is inefficient. I don't like getting rashes. I don't like stinking. I don't like
the babies don't say any of this, bro.
Being made fun of for being stinky pants. I'm going to go poop in a toilet. I'm going to get over the fear of the toilet monster. Or I'm going to poop wherever. I mean, I'm talking from a Western standpoint. You
Western standpoint. Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You can learn without
You'll
language.
See. Is this parody? That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. No, it's Felicia. It's Felicia. Did you tell?
Animals learn without language all the time, John. I mean, it's not a difficult concept.
Can you guys guess how this conversation goes? Now, I want you to bet. What's the worst thing you guys think I say? How rude do you think I am in the chat? Do you guys think I get rude at all? Do you think I get even remotely rude?
Yes, I'm still talking, Detroit Atheist Queen. I decided to try a new format to go till about 9.
Now, I posted in the chat at this point. I have the chat, by the way. I'll get to it when they read me.
Daily Atheist Show starts up, and then I'm going to skedaddle. Children nowadays do not get the time to learn how to live. They are forced into selfish ways too fast. Okay. I'm not going to get into a cultural war debate. All adults got bad morals because of the way humans evolved. John, that's an interesting argument. But, like... It's an interesting argument. I'm not sure how to... I would need a...
You see, they've been streaming for 2 hours, okay? They're tired. It's 2 hours long. They've had a big day. They've had a big day. Yes, it's the morning. Yes, it's the early in the morning. Listen, Alicia's had a big day. All right? Calm down.
I would need a bigger thesis on that. A bigger thesis statement on that.
Calm down.
Your concept of racism is a culture.
Let's go back. You know who's typing right now? You know who's typing right now? Who's typing right now? Who's typing right now? Okay, here we go. Now's where it gets interesting.
Your concept of racism is a cultural construction.
What is he going to say? Look at this. They have to lean in and get my name, right? Already, I noticed from this moment, I'm like, oh no. They're already uncomfortable, aren't they? I know it right now. I'm already like, oh no. Uh-oh. 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 I pushed the beehive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why are they looking at my name like that? What are they trying to figure out there? Why are they looking so close at my name like that? Am I wrong?
Cranky. Sure. Yeah, my concept.
Look, they can't even debate that point, right? They just have to concede it. They just have to completely concede it.
So racism is a cultural construction.
Uh-huh. They have to totally concede everything. They've already conceded, but they don't notice that their ideas are contradictory, right? But they already concede right there. Right there, if you say, sure, your idea of racism is a cultural construction, then how can you say it's right or wrong? You already made the argument yourself that you can't tell right or wrong from cultural norms. So how do you tell? And you said that's what morals are, is based on the cultural construction. So how do you determine that's right or wrong?
If you...
See, he has to just concede it completely. They have to concede it completely. And now they've got to think about some sideways way to be like, okay, well, yeah, but the fact that you're asking that question means you're actually a racist, right? You know, I know from this point on, I'm like, bro, they're just looking for a way to call me a racist now, right? I'm like, they're just looking for a way to call me names now. The whole conversation has shifted. It's no longer about talking. It's now about finding a way to paint me as evil. I realize it right now, right? I'm in the chat. I'm like, oh no.
If your culture has no concept of...
Because it says if. And now you're going to try to paint people as something. And then you're trying to paint me as something.
Racism, and just believes that it is acceptable that a person of a specific skin color in a specific...
Now listen to all this, and I make the point in a bit. I don't want to poison the well and say the points I'm going to make, but listen to what they're saying, okay? And reason yourself and see if you have any problems with what they're saying.
A specific tone gradient and a specific cultural background is inferior, and you're...
I like how he also sounds like the guy from the comic book nerd in Inferior, like with the comic book nerd in The Simpsons. I forget what that guy's name is.
Your culture
But
has
listen to the way he
cultural
says it.
background
He says inferior.
Is inferior, and
Inferior, right? It's like
your culture has no concept of racism.
mm-hmm.
Then I have to acquiesce that racism,
Quote unquote,
is a cultural concept. Do I
Right.
find that?
But you didn't even establish any of those things you said. You're just saying those things. Go back again. You're just saying these things.
Inferior and tone gradient and a specific cultural background is inferior, and
You're just making that up.
your culture has no concept of racism. Then I have to acquiesce that racism
You have
is
to.
a cultural concept.
The only rule that you're using for what's good or bad is your cultural norms. You debunked yourself. You have no ground to point at another culture and say they're bad if you're using cultural norms to judge them. Then how do you move yourself up above cultural norms to judge them? Unless you're talking about you're some kind of, I don't know, Platonist or something, right? Whatever you would be, dialecticist, where you think your thought, your evaluation is higher than culture, right? You think sociology is higher than culture. It's able to analyze the language and culture, right, at a level that's above it. If you believe in that, that's basically a religion that you're believing in, which is your real religion, right? Some kind of idealism, some kind of dialecticism, some kind of dialectic belief.
And that to be
some kind of Plato, you think it's all forms, something like this is your religion.
Do I still find the behavior to be wrong? Yes.
By what metric? I find, remember earlier, they said there is no I that makes moral judgments that are what's right or wrong. There's only a network. Now they're contradicting themselves. I already got them to contradict themselves. Now they're saying, I decide that is wrong. I determine that's wrong. I determine that behavior is wrong. You already said you don't do that. You already said it's a network around you that does that. You don't. You don't have grounds to do that. You already said you don't.
I still find the behavior to be wrong. You
can't find anything wrong. Your own logic makes that not make any sense. Okay, we're at 144:17. Look, I'll try to find the logic where they say that. It was like way back here somewhere.
On the rest of the network.
See, listen right here. Look.
This unit in a network of relations has not conformed. That's not the word I'm looking for. Has agreed with the consensus.
See, I'm following their logic. They're not following their own logic.
On the rest of the network. That's kind of like what it is there, from my point of view on what morals are. So, and to be fair, I mean, like the thing that keeps like the atheist online community.
Here, go back. It's further where they say exactly words and
necessarily individual.
Look, listen.
These are derivations of I necessarily in my brains, the neurons and all that stuff as well. In my brains.
Go back another minute. Hold on.
A network of, because what I think is right and wrong is actually shaped by an entire network, complicated network of things. We collapse that into this simple idea of subjectivity, but the problem with doing that is apologists will take the idea of subjectivity and equate it with, it will commit an equivocation fallacy with arbitrariness. And so I'm very hesitant to say that I follow what my intuition of right and wrong is. I necessarily don't.
They necessarily don't.
I follow the network I'm a part of.
What is that? Culture.
And keep in mind that.
So how do you know that's right or wrong?
It's deeper than just me as a unit.
I understand. I understand. I most certainly understand.
The brains, the neurons, and all
that.
Now
let's go back.
How do you know pooping yourself is bad?
Oh, I need to go to this part. I need to go to that part. I need to go to the poop part.
A specific tone gradient and a specific cultural background is inferior, and your culture has no concept of racism. Then I have to...
Who is I?
then
Who the fuck is I? You already said you don't determine anything.
to acquiesce.
Yeah, the
that
network
racism,
around you has decided that's wrong. But how do you know that's right or wrong?
is a cultural concept. Do I find that?
How do you decide that's right or
American
wrong?
Black people in Japan, I think, if you're to be wrong. The treatment of black people, especially American black people in Japan, I think is
How do you determine that?
be very, very horrendous.
Again, how do you determine that? You undermined your own morals earlier.
Whether they accept that as racism or not is up to them.
No, because you're saying some objective fact that it's racism. You're just using your network around you to judge them. How do you take that and raise it above Japan?
But I'm
In
gonna
their
call it racism,
culture.
so
Now, of course, they're looking for some way to go after me now. Look, that's my response, right? Real strong argument. Oh, wow, the rational atheist. Oh, oh, good one. You got me. You got me. It makes no logical sense whatsoever, but you got me. It was completely incoherent, but you got me. Completely incoherent, but you got me. Completely
it hurts
incoherent.
you, but can be.
And then, so what happens next? I have the chat here. Then they start adding me. That seems very wrong. What do you mean, someone says? We'll cover that in a second.
Be important to get vaccinated. Yeah, I
How
agree.
much smoke we got?
Gotta run, Ed. Good to see you, buddy. Loved the thoughts you had on AI earlier. Peace, Ed. It was good seeing you, brother. Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
fun. We got another 15 minutes to go, guys. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to chat about?
See, acting like, oh, let's talk about anything. What do you want to talk about? 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 Oh, I'm trying to talk about something.
Talk about AI some more. I don't know. I'm not in the mood to go over that article anymore. That article was brain drippingly bad. It really was. Like,
Ooh.
I fed it into an AI, guys. I fed it into an AI. Like, if you're
They
gonna
had some real good. Yeah, who knows?
feed questions into an AI and you're gonna declare it to be like some sort of neutral arbiter, you need to show the full prompts. You need to
Let's
show
skip
the
this
full-
part. This
with
is
the
boring.
memory. And if you did this in like a tip, results from ultra favor Christianity or favor other religions, until then it's
But for real, I don't understand what basis they're building their morals on if they already said that they don't exist, right? Like, am I wrong? Guys, if I'm misunderstanding, please help me misunderstand. From my understanding, they said that there is no such thing as right and wrong when it comes to cultural norms. And in fact, their morals are enforced by your surrounding network, and there is no individual decision of what's right or wrong. But then they talk about racism, and all of a sudden they know. All of a sudden, oh, that's wrong. How did you determine that?
it's not evidence. So that's what people get wrong about AI.
And here's the crazy thing. Show me when I say something rude at all. I'm just talking calmly, like... I don't see how I was rude at all.
AI. I'm just like, yeah, I use AI,
But I know I stepped on a topic that makes them uncomfortable, and so they take me as being
but
rude.
like you don't understand how to use it, and I do.
Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, I'm huffing my fart. I'm so smart. See, this is what I'm saying. Everything they talk about is themselves. They're always talking about themselves. They can't even talk about any other topic but themselves. Every topic is them. Even this racism thing is just about them. And yet they're like, listen, I'm not really me. I'm a result of my surroundings and the other nodes around me. That's why I talk about pooping in a diaper a lot. It's not because I like talking about pooping in a diaper a lot. It's because that's just what the surrounding networks like to talk about, is pooping in a diaper a lot and making poop sounds.
Oh, I don't get it.
And also racism is wrong, too. No, do I get that from the surrounding network? No. No, that's I know that's wrong. I don't know what's good, right, or wrong, unless it's racism. Then I know. How? On what grounds?
It's weird. Xenophobia is no cultural construction.
That's what someone says to me, right? Someone replies to me that here. Let's look at what I say next. That seems very wrong. Of course it does. Of course it does to you. So I say, The concept of xenophobia is most certainly a cultural construction. What you're describing, I view as tribalism. See, I'm still talking cool. I'm still like, hey man, let's try and understand each other's terms. Let's try and have this conversation if you want to have it. The concept of xenophobia, wait, is that the one? Right here. The concept of xenophobia is most certainly a cultural construction. What you're describing, I view as tribalism, and it doesn't just break down along skin color. Am I wrong? It's me, it's us versus them, it's in-group selection, no? That they're actually describing as racism. It's in-group selection. What I'm saying there is, there's another way to describe the same thing. The same thing you're describing as racism, there's another way to put it. So how do you say exactly what it is if I can put it another way? That's what I'm putting forth there. And then I say here, the fact that it is limited to a specific language, and I think there's a valid point too on the fact that it is limited to a specific language certainly limits it to cultural. Can you establish it exists? So see, what I'm thinking here is, if you're going to talk about this racism thing, on what grounds are you building it? You just said cultural norms cannot necessarily be right or wrong. You can't assume they're good or bad. You said that. Then I just asked, well, then what grounds do you assume that racism is bad, is what I'm trying to say, right? It's limited to a specific language, certainly limits to cultural. Can you establish it exists universally the way you're describing it? Now, they say, well, we'll get to what they say. I'll accept evidence or right reason. I put it on the table. I'm not even looking for evidence necessarily. I will accept a good justification of what you're talking about. I'm not even looking. I try to make it specific. I try to make it kind, right? I try to be like, hey, man, I'm not looking to pin you on this. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm just looking for something to establish what you're saying. Because you just said 5 minutes ago that you can't tell a cultural norm is good or bad. Where's that from? There's a scam card somewhere? I don't know where that is, bro. What are you doing with it? I'm not checking that, okay? I'm busy right now. Wherever you use that, type in chat. Either craggyreads.com or YouTube or something. Type in chat. I can't read that. Cabron, is that you or someone? Geo, Snorch, whoever it is. I cannot read it, okay? I can just hear the noise. Anyways, I have to finish this point first. Then I'll read Dean's chat. Then we'll go on. I'm trying to make the point that I'm open to being convinced with just a good reason, just your logic. Because by the logic I've been presented with here, I don't see how you say anything's right or wrong. You said it yourself. You said, I'm trying to understand at this point. I'm not even trying to get them, but I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. I know they're going after me. I can feel it. I can feel their breath on my neck, right? The hunters, the consensus group. The consensus is on me, right? I can feel it. I know they don't like me. I know they're just waiting for the right thing to ban me, right? I can tell. I can smell it. I know they don't like me. I know I make them uncomfortable because I'm asking questions that they can't answer because they know what's right and wrong, but then they say, oh, we don't know what's right and wrong. See, what's fucking funny is they're fine criticizing right and wrong when it's the Bible. And Dingus, I know you notice this, and I know you guys that are religious notice this. Now, I'm not religious, but I've noticed this. When they're criticizing God, right? When they're criticizing Jesus, when they're criticizing the Bible, they go, you can't ever know what's right and wrong, right? But then all of a sudden, oh yeah, but racism? Hey, what are you, some kind of racist asking about that? Now, do you think he gets that, like, deranged, like where he starts being like, what are you, some kind of racist? I think I smell a racist. You think that happens? Put your money on yes or no.
We humans got too smart. As Ozzy said, he was not able...
Going to Vera chant to be a furry.
Lie because his memory was so bad because of alcohol. Yeah, I mean, he's not able to... You can't accuse him of lying because his memory was so shot, but he could still make stuff up that could be considered a lie. Now you're just arguing over what a lie is, John. The concept of xenophobia is most
Here we go. Okay, starts reading me again. You can tell from like the way he reads too. He's reading me versus the other people.
certainly a cultural construction. What
Am I wrong? Because another way to describe it is tribalism, in-group versus out-group. There's millions of ways to describe it, even in sociology, which he brings up like his holy Bible. Sociology is this individual's Bible somehow, and that's fine. They can use sociology as some kind of universal concept that you can criticize the rest of society with, but then when you actually ask for any kind of backup to it, they just go, no, I can do that. I can do that. You can't. I can judge society by the norms that I have, but you can't. And again, you ask them, where do morals come from? Well, it comes from my surrounding network. Okay. Then how does your surrounding network back up racism being bad? Well, I don't know why you're asking that.
you're describing, I view as tribalism, and
Am I wrong? Tribalism is another valid way to describe racism.
it doesn't just break down along skin color.
And it doesn't. You see people, you see groups like in the South back in the day when you had like the Irish gangs fighting, right? And you had Sicilians fighting Irish people. Did that not happen? Like, it's such a short view of history to say it's racism. There's a bigger explanation that's tribalism. It's in-group versus out-group. It's a long-standing human nature we've had for who knows how long, and we all have it, right? And there's tons of sociology studies about it. That's another way to look at it than racism.
Tribalism doesn't just break down along skin color. Okay, I'm glad you're trying to soften
Listen to this. Listen to this. He's already judging. This person is already judging me in every way possible,
and
right?
redefine.
You don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, which is why I'm blowing you out of the water. And I blow you so far out of the water, you had to ban me forever, asking simple questions. I didn't say anything rude. I didn't say nothing rude to you. I didn't say a single rude thing. I asked very simple questions, and you banned me.
I'm not glad about it, but you're trying to soften.
You're painting me as whatever you can right now, with no evidence, no proof, no nothing. This is how you actually are. What's good or bad? I don't know. Oh, you're bad, though.
And redefine both racism and xenophobia. These are not
With this, like, fucking stock shader in the background for visuals. You ever thought about actually making something cool? You ever thought about, like, putting some effort into your actual stream? What is this? What is this? What is this? You didn't put any effort in. There's some kind of stock fucking shader in the background. It's not even audio responsive. Why bother?
cultural definitions. These are sociological
How does that make them magically bigger definitions?
definitions.
Because it's sociological. How is sociology not ingrained in culture? It is.
So if you want to,
It's at the cultural level. You can't go above. How are you going above culture? You said by your own thing, morals aren't even above culture. Morals are defined by culture. How the hell is sociology above culture?
if you want to,
See, it's just like their robot brain can't compute it, right? They just don't know they just can't compute what's happening. They're like, sociology, it's not cultural, it's sociology. Sociology exists outside of cultural somehow.
proclaim
How?
that these definitions are cultural now, you're going to have to present evidence.
I have to present evidence. Now, this part I get pissed off, right? That's why I say what I say here. I have to present evidence? No, that's not how it works, right? So I say to him, where's my message? Here, the fact is limited to a certain language certainly limits it to cultural. So I say, can you establish it exists universally the way you're describing it? I already asked for evidence, right? I'm already asking for evidence. I'll accept evidence and right reason. Now, guess where the conversation goes now. Can you guess?
To say to reduce it to tribalism
Reduce it to tribalism.
is really to ignore the tribes that
And is that good or bad? Is that good or bad?
that are integrated with other cultures, with other people of different backgrounds.
Yeah, but they did fight each other until they were integrated, right? Like there's a history of that happening. That makes my point.
So to
That
say
it's the
that
same
it's
thing.
a result of tribalism is, I think, a little reductivist.
Yes, I know you can call me names, but can you actually build an argument?
Of both the effects of
Can you put anything on the table that is you can point to that isn't just gobbledygook?
and the causes of racism, xenophobia, and the like.
Listen to this. Programming activated. Xenophobia, racism, beep 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 boop 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 boop, sociology, beep boop boop boop.
I think you've gone a little bit.
Beep boop. Sociology, beep boop. Me, no, sociology. Sociology, good. How me determine good? Uncompute.
Too reductivist here. Because it's not just tribalism. Like,
you already established that you don't know what anything is good outside of your cultural norms and your network. How are you now pointing to sociology as being good?
There's
How do you not see what I'm saying?
There's religious history. There's a lot of historical things involved as well.
Oh, now history matters. Earlier they were saying, somebody makes an argument from dead people. I never understand that. They're like, Einstein thought this or that. And why does it matter? They're dead. Well, guess what? Why does it matter? They're dead. Your own logic, again, dismisses everything you got to say. Your own logic dismisses everything you got to say. They're dead. Who cares?
Societal and
they're dead.
Cultural influences.
Who cares?
Impact this. It's not just
tribal. They are dead. Who cares? You do not have a right to someone else's way of life. You are not a Borg. A Borg. A Bong. I think you said a Bong at first. How come it's back? How come I can't read the signs? You do not have a right to someone else's way of life. You are not the Borg. Exactly, right? How? By what matter? By what metric? See, they make contradicting arguments. Hey, Chris. They make contradicting arguments here. This motherfucker. Okay. They say outside of one side of their mouth that you can't determine what's good because they're criticizing the Bible. They're criticizing religious people. They're saying those people can't tell what's right and wrong. Cultural standards are just cultural standards. There is no right and wrong. Then they say, but Japan is racist, and that's bad. Okay, by what metric, I ask them. This motherfucker, I didn't ask a single wrong or rude thing, and they banned me from the chat. And again, they're pretending like, oh, I'm an atheist. I'm open to talking. I'm open to talking. I'm an open-minded person. Baloney. How do I play this again?
Tribalism. The fact that it is limited to...
Here we go. This is my message again. Hold on. This is my message again. The fact that it is limited to a specific language certainly limits it to cultural. Can you establish it exists universally? Because I asked for evidence. I'm like, you got to make the evidence. You're the one saying the crazy shit, bro. Can you establish it exists universally the way you're describing it? I'll accept evidence or right reason. Because they're talking about sociology as if it can be used to judge other cultures. So I say, okay, back it up. Okay, back it up.
A specific language certainly has limits to it.
Negative dialectics. Yeah, it is, yeah. You should have told them. It seems they're coming from a point of white colonial privilege. Well, that's why I said it's a cultural construct, or whatever I said. It's a cultural construction.
Culturally,
but I don't see how they don't see the flaw in what they're saying. They say that you can't, because when they're judging religious people, they say there's no way to turn right or wrong. But if you disagree with me on sociology, you're wrong.
Can you establish it exists universally?
Watch what happens now. Watch what happens now.
The way you are describing it.
Can you guess where this conversation goes? I asked for evidence, right? Very simple request. Can you establish it? Give me some evidence. Now, what do you think they start talking about? If anybody can guess it, you can win. You could win something, man. Maybe I'll give you 100 points in the scam board. If you can guess what they transition to talking about before they do it, you could win 100 scam board points.
Accept evidence or right reason. Who's describing it universally?
Guess where they go with this?
I'm describing it as a definition.
Guess where they go with this?
Are you saying? Are you?
Yeah, but you're using a definition of a word to judge a whole country of people and say they're racist. So back it up.
Claiming that racism doesn't exist because it's not a universal?
Yes, of course I'm saying that. Yeah.
That's an odd thing to say.
Now all of a sudden, look. Oh, I know. I'm going to call you a racist now. Are you some kind of racist? You're questioning the things I believe in. Are you some kind of heretic? Huh? You some kind of heretic?
That's a
Are you some kind of heretic? You don't believe in the same things I believe in? You some kind of heretic?
very odd.
This is an open atheist stream where we talk about atheist stuff. You don't believe in something different than I do you?
Thing to say. I'm saying it exists definitionally.
Listen to that. He's sniffing. They're sniffing around like, no, you don't smell right. You don't smell like one of us. You're not one of us. Something isn't right here. You're not one of us.
As in the science of sociology. You're saying I'm now claiming it's a universal.
The science, hear that? The science of sociology. Now, as if science is not put under the same criticism about cultural norms as everything else, how on earth do you say that the science of sociology is somehow outside of any criticism? That's ridiculous. How do you establish that?
Definition that it's a universal thing across society.
Nazis, close.
That's a very odd thing to say.
Look at that. They're like, gotta smell.
That's a very odd pivot as well.
Pivot. I didn't pivot. I asked for evidence because you asked me for evidence, and I put it on you because you're the one saying things that are ridiculous.
Why are you pivoting away from racism?
Did not pivot away from racism, you weirdo.
And
look at that. See, they're like looking for a way to condemn me as a racist. That's what they're doing right now. They do not want to talk to me. They want to get me the hell out of there, and they want to be justified in doing it. So they want me to say something that they can say, oh, look, racist.
Trying to undefine it. I think what the more interesting question here...
In what way did I pivot? I was talking about the exact same thing you were talking about.
...is why are you trying to undefine racism?
Look at that. What are you, some kind of racist? You're asking questions about the things I believe in? That sounds awfully heretical, mister. I think you need to say 20 Hail Marys to the black priest over there. I think you need to get down. Say BLM, BLM, BLM. Say BLM. Say 100 BLMs. Say 100 BLMs now.
I think that's the more concerning behavior here.
Say 100 BLMs or else.
Is that you're trying to undefine racism.
You better start saying it.
I do think that's the more concerning behavior.
Concerning.
But this really wasn't supposed to be a discussion on racism.
So when they don't know what to talk about, what do they talk about? Any clues, guys?
So let me ask you this.
Again, looks at my name again. They looked at it before. They didn't remember somehow. They said creaky the first time.
Cracky rules.
Yeah, thank you. They're kind of close that time. The first time they said creaky.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about transgender people?
Did you fucking guess? Hey, I'm a trans. Did you guess that? Did you guess they talk about that? Did you guess they turn the conversation to that? Who guessed that? Who could have possibly guessed that's where the conversation would go? Who could have guessed that? Who could have guessed? Listen, I have a card to play here in my pocket. Did you talk about this thing? My one card to play?
What do you think about the concept of gender?
What the fuck are you asking? Huh?
Is gender a universal, or is that just a definitional game?
Huh? Who guessed that? Somebody had to know they were going to do that. By the way, you might not have been able to tell, but listen, we're on YouTube right now, okay? On YouTube right now.
Interesting. I want to hear your response on that one. That'd be interesting.
You know what I say to that? Do you know what I say to that? Right here. Weird pivot. Start talking about the trans thing. It's pretty weird. Weird pivot. Because they just said I was weird pivoting, somehow dodging, talking about racism. When I'm not, I'm expressing what I'm saying, right? I don't know. I did no point left the racism conversation, right? I had no point. In what way did I leave it? I was replying to the person talking to me right here, right? And then I'm expanding on my point. In what way am I pivoting at all? And how did I pivot? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Weird pivot. Sir, ma'am.
Interesting. Weird pivot. I'm trying to figure out what your argument is, Craig.
And I'm like, I know you're not, man. I sit there, I know you're not. I know you're hunting me. I can smell it. I know. You're all like this. I don't agree with the consensus. You already said you turn right and wrong by the consensus. I'm against the consensus. Gotta be illuminated.
I'm trying to figure out how to discuss this with you.
Uh-huh.
So no, if you're getting uncomfortable with wondering
If I'm getting uncomfortable, projection, ma'am, sir,
what your definition of gender is, and if you think that's a universal as well, I think it's a very interesting pivot. And yes, it's a pivot.
Every single point I make, she has to go, they have to go, yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. Every time you're right. Correct. Yep. But here's the thing. You're a racist. I can smell it because you're asking about racism. You can't ask about racism. That's a holy subject here. We have sacred cows in the racism and being trans, obviously.
But I want to know.
But also, there's no sacred cows like religious ones. But if you talk about any of those things, no, you are a bad person. Sorry. But yes, Jesus isn't real. Okay, there's no good. God's not real. There's no way to judge right and wrong, but you're wrong because you're racist.
Oh, why? I want to know how you think. Is this just like a...
Remember, you're on YouTube. I smell a little Nazi on you, boy. You don't smell right. You ain't from around here. You ain't from around these parts.
Is this just like a definitional issue with you, or is this a...
You ain't from around these parts. How can I label you something to ban you?
Or do you have a wider issue with the way things...
I feel like right now, I'll be honest, I felt right now, I'm like, this person's trying to get rid of me, aren't they? And they're like, no, maybe they're trying to talk. Maybe they're trying to have a real conversation. I'll keep trying, right? And so, get this. I'm still not rude, okay? I'm still not rude if I said a single rude thing. I'm still not rude. I go, let's get to the point where they ask the question.
Defined.
Right here.
I think is this just like a definitional issue with you, or is this or do you have a wider issue with the way things are defined?
Now, I'm a little annoyed with how it's talking to me like I'm pivoting away or something. So I go, no, I have a wider issue with how things are defined. That's what I say.
Let's really get down to it.
I am getting down, individual.
Let's not nitpick on the nitty gritty here. Let's really get down to it.
They're wishing they could just shoot you in the neck with a gun. I know, I could feel it. I'm gonna smoke while this part goes.
Why you think
I can feel it.
And why I think the way I think.
Now, notice they had to say the M part. They're really interrogating the first one, right? They're an inquisitor or something. They're really interrogating the first part. The second part is to seem reasonable to the audience, right? Like, I also want to question my own beliefs too, of course, right?
Let's not nitpick on the nitty gritty here. Let's really get down to why you think the way you think and why I think the way I think.
You see? They're adding the M part just to seem reasonable. Like, oh yeah, I am open. No, you aren't. But at the time, I was trying, right? I still tried.
I think that's a much more interesting and much more important conversation. I
I'm
have
a
a wider
heretic.
issue with the way things are defined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is the wider issue you have?
Now, where does this go? Where does this go? Would you guess the same topic again? Would you guess it's about them being trans again?
With the way things are defined.
Would you guess that? Would you guess every single thing they say goes back to that somehow? Would you guess that?
Exactly is your issue with the way...
Would you guess that?
Is your issue related to the fact that that language in general is a very... that language in general is a very, very loose, very evolving, very...
Taking 100 points, so I guess right this time? Well, no, not this time.
Fluid thing?
Not this time.
Or is your problem that platonic forms and objectivity is not necessarily...
Platonic forms is ridiculous.
Is not necessarily a thing.
That's it. I don't believe in platonic forms. I don't believe in the dialectic. Yes. Right, correct. I don't believe in platonic forms. I don't believe in the dialectic. I don't believe in it.
That's what I want to know.
I don't believe in the world of platonic forms. I don't believe in that.
I
I
think
don't believe in the dialectic. I believe in natural thinking and
That's
right reason.
more interesting.
Oh, nice. You want to smoke now? All right. Well, let's take a quick break. Before we get to the end of this, we'll take a quick break to smoke some more. Okay, hold on. Let me put some music on. I'm gonna put this into a ball or something. Make it neon. Maybe that'll fix it. Okay. And let's put on smoking music. Turn off whatever this is. Okay. It was too loud. Sorry. Too loud. Like the Platonic Fleets. The move with continents around, I don't believe in that either. No, I can show you exactly what they're talking about. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're talking about. I got slides on this topic. I gotta pack another bowl. I'm doing that now. And I'm also pulling up the slides. Hold on. I actually talked about this yesterday. Like this, okay? Here, Platonic forms, okay? He believes in Plato's cave, and he thinks he's a philosopher. This individual believes they're a philosopher. And see, what they put forth was that everything is like a form from its perfect version. It's not the perfect version. It's not a perfect. It's an imperfect reproduction of it, a flawed copy of the original, and that's what forms is. Nice. Let's all smoke. So that's what Platonic forms is referring to. It's the basis of the dialectic too. Most people that are dialectics believe in this kind of concept, whether or not they're aware of it. This person is aware that they believe in it, but they think it's science, or like just is. And I express there, I say, I have a general issue with how things are defined, don't I? I'm saying to them, I don't believe in this. Now, they're not quick enough to notice that. They're too busy trying to call me MAGA chud, which they will soon. We're almost there. Can you believe that? I've never voted. I'm a MAGA chud. Me? Come on, man. You can call me names, but come on. Like, actually call me a real one. The only reason they call me racist is because I'm questioning their concepts. It's just a defense mechanism, right? Because look, this is what they're talking about. Philosophical inquiry here, bro. Right? They believe that words are artifacts themselves. They are things. They are this one. The children are programmed. The mothers are slaves. Okay. Do you get it? I don't know if you guys have any background in this stuff, but the point is, they think of words as things. Like everything is social construct, everything is... But I've thought about this, I no longer agree at all. I think words are pattern recognition. You can disagree with me on this if you want. I'm not going to be in here, it's fine. I think we're like understanding words, understanding a set of patterns. And it's like patterns that we developed to express that concept. But I don't think it's a separate thing. I think it's an expression of the individual using it. They tried to say, like, I don't believe in living language at a certain point. I think they say it in a minute, which is ridiculous. I'm a translator. Come on. I care about language more than most. I definitely believe in living language, an extension of the person speaking. It's an extension of your vocal cords. Your speech is an extension of your vocal cords. Oh. I got 2 gram card yesterday. Wow, 2. First time I said, yeah, I never seen a 2 gram either. Is it at what percentage is the stuff? Just wear it with honor. I do, Pluton. You know me. I mean, they can call it whatever they want. I'm just saying, like, it shows. The reason I bring it up is to show how far off they are from who I am. Is all, you know, what I'm putting forth. Not that I care that they call me it in a more general way. Just in you guys understand it, that they're how far off they are from understanding me way. Because I was trying to talk to them still, right? And I haven't put it in like, and this is what they're talking about when they say platonic forms. This is what they're talking about, okay? Because ever since then, people have thought of these things as constructs, and because they're imperfect, they decay. That's the idea. Because the question is, why do we die, right? It's like those kind of questions. So their answer is, well, because they're a copy of the original and not the real thing. That's the simple answer there. Now, however, this also explains why they think the way they do, and I'll show you why. Okay, right here. You saw what they were doing, right? You saw how this individual was saying, that's not, I'm just saying a definition. I'm just using a science, sociology. What they're really using is the dialectic. They call it science now, but because they know most of you are too stupid to know what they're talking about. They're talking about the dialectic, the investigation of human thought. They've renamed it sociology. It's the same thing. The idea is it can be used to critique the structures of society and the cultural norms. They even use it in like the racist stuff. Like the one lady goes, you can't, here, let me find the quote. You cannot dismantle the master's home. The master's tool never dismantled the master's house. This is communist critical race nonsense, right? Like, you guys know what that stuff is. The idea is that you can't use science as you understand it to take down racism. So you have to take down science. That's literally what they're saying. That's why they did that thing about like whiteness and blah blah, all this shit. It's just the same type of thought, just applied in a way where they're trying to tell you what to do, bro. I wish people saw this. It's just these people trying to boss you around and take power. That's it. None of this is real. None of this is real. None of this is like a real thing worthy of practice or anything. It's just, they're just trying to tell you what to do. That's it. They think better. They know better. And this is why right here. Because the dialectic they consider above math. Math. 1 + 1 = 2. They go, no. No. You've seen them. 2 + 2 = 5. Actually, you're thinking about it wrong. What? 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. Nope. 2 + 2 does not equal 4. Because it could be, you could be thinking about boxes, and you put all the boxes together, the fifth box around all the boxes, and you say, what? Gotcha. You're confused, and now we rule you. That's it. They confuse you, and then while you're looking around like, what are they talking about? Does that kind of make sense? What the fuck's he talking about? What do you mean 2 + 2 is 5? What is he saying? We're supposed to go along with that? He's naked, man. He's not, the emperor's not wearing any clothes, bro. What do you mean don't say it, you look stupid? Listen, I don't care if I look stupid, okay? I'm gonna say he's naked. 2 + 2 does not equal 5. What do you mean I'll look retarded? No, I don't care about if you guys judge me, okay? I'll say it. What do you mean morals are just conforming to your group? Anyway, let me smoke one more time and then catch up on you guys. So they are carts. What percentage do you say? 83 for, oh, the gummies are 83%. I barely even like the 1 grams though, because they always get clogged. Yeah. Well, that's because they're the disposable carts. I used to make my own. I haven't for a while, but I still do sometimes. I take 1 gram of concentrate. I take terpene oil, and I melt the concentrate into the terpene oil in a shot glass or in water in a double boil. Just like, until it melts, and then you mix it up, and then it's in the oil, the turb oil, and then I put that in like a regular pod thing. I have a couple different ones that are okay. I started with like real things, like real tanks. You don't know, the pods are the best things, I think. You just gotta find a pod that works. Like, because some the viscosity will be like too thin, and like it won't really work for the way the thing is built. But the pod things are pretty much, I think, the best for weed. And then you put that in there, so it's like 1-to-1, and this one looks pretty good. I don't know, I haven't had an issue with that. We're gonna need some more votes on the scam board, guys. Yeah, everybody does. Speaking of, we're not gonna make very credible murder threats this time. It's all decent, disposable. 2 got a little screen auto draw. Oh, nice. Okay. Disposal. The max voltage is 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you want to smoke? I mean, you want to do it as low as works from like health wise, for what I understand. Because the hotter it goes, the more chance it's like melting off. I mean, like some of the coils coming off, or something like this. All right, let me hit it one more time, and then let's go back to the thing. So, do you guys get this? Is there some way I can explain this? The position they're coming from is one of the dialectic. They can criticize what's right and wrong because they're thinking at a higher level of awareness than the rest of us. That's what's happening. That's why, like, even one side of their mouth they say, oh, you can't determine what's good or bad, it's just cultural norms. And then they say where they get their morals from the network around them, so they're saying they just get it from their cultural norms. So how do they determine what's right and wrong? Their cultural norms, they don't have a system to do that. The only way they can is, they call it sociology, it's dialectic. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Or ban me like a baby because you don't even want to talk. That's what happens. These fuckers just ban you. Did I say anything rude yet in their chat? Okay, hold on. Wait till the end of the song, then we'll go back. Did I say a single rude thing yet? How am I being rude to this person? The mobile site needs a lot of work, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We definitely do. We definitely do gotta fix it up. So, all right. Let's go back to this thing. By this thing I mean the video. By this thing I mean the video, nothing else. Okay. Music stop. Music stop. Thank you. Okay. So what did we get my last comment? Are we on my last comment? I said, now we have this weirdo adding me the whole time in chat, right? Like talking to me like, blah, 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 blah. I'm just ignoring them. Ignorantly making fun of, oh, yeah. So, sorry, we get into this. This gets interesting, I think. Because I'm saying, I have wider issues with communication. This part actually gets really interesting, I think. Okay, so, yeah, let's go back to them talking.
I think that's the more interesting question here.
It does get really interesting, I think. Hold on, just
because if we start discussing whether racism exists, quote unquote, objective.
Why wouldn't we discuss that? I mean, they don't get the big question I'm asking them, right? Which is, how do you judge another culture if morals are just what your group around you believes in, which would be cultural norms? You can't just say sociology exists. That's not. But what grounds do you base sociology as above the rest of human thought and the rest of cultural norms? You said science. You said sociology, science, sociology, as if that gives it some magical power. But you didn't establish why. That's obviously what I'm looking for. I don't know, how I can make it more clear to that person.
Definitely. We are then also going to have to discuss whether gender exists.
There we go. See. There we go. You guys have done a great job so far. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. I think I really like the site. Everything looks really nice.
Objectively,
I do. We're gonna fix the fonts and but that's my bad. I just clicked when I was putting the robot. It's like swap to Google ones, and I said yeah.
Or whether slavery exists.
Uh-oh, who knew that was coming? Now here's something interesting again. Earlier, this individual said, I don't get why people say that Einstein did this or whoever did that, because they're dead. So why are we arguing from the dead? But then slavery all of a sudden, right? It's like, why are you arguing from the dead? Huh?
Exists objectively, quote unquote, because the culture didn't define slavery that way.
Exists? Did it exist then? You're talking about past tense. That doesn't. You're making an argument from dead.
So what's the slippery slope we want to go down here, Craig?
See, now he's trying to say I'm trying to do a slippery slope. He's trying to smear me, man. I can tell. He's trying to smear me.
That's what I want to know.
He's trying to smear me. Look at him. Look at him. He's trying to smear me.
I'm more than willing to.
Sorry. They're trying to smear me. I didn't mean...
More than willing to grant you a premise or two if you're willing to tell me.
Jail.
Is your problem
Red alert,
related
guys.
to
I'm going to
how
jail.
language defines things?
I'm going to jail.
And how language is very fluid and is more of a compression of human thought? I have no issue with language.
See, I already say no. I'm not. I don't say I'm a translator. I think about it. I think about saying that. No, I'm a translator. I love English. I mean, I love language being a living thing. I have no issue with that at all. You're talking about constructs. You're talking about dialectic analysis of culture and society.
Being alive, I believe in living language.
That's me saying that.
I think you're judging Japan by your cultural norms.
Am I wrong? See, I'm still trying to talk to them. I put it as straightforward as I can say it. You said there's no right and wrong. There's just what the group thinks. So that's what? Cultural norms. So I say, I think you're judging Japan by your cultural norms. Say it as straightforward as I can say it.
I think when people are treated differently because of...
Now see here, this part right here. Because of...
their particular affiliation.
They're treated differently because of their affiliation
with different cultures.
With different cultures.
I think that is a form of racism. When a Mexican person is judged harshly by a white Irish guy in New York City, because he
So I go, well, doesn't intent matter?
Mexican,
right? Hold on, what are my actual words? After saying weird pivot, you don't know why exactly, let me zoom in here. You don't know why exactly they are treated differently. You're presupposing that. And then I ask, so intent doesn't matter for it to be racism? Am I wrong? You know, then all these other fields start adding me all kinds of nonsense. All kinds of nonsense.
It's made fun of for having a Spanish accent. I believe that is racism.
Yeah, why are they doing it?
When a Japanese person looks at a black American and does some very stereotypical... I've seen some very interesting things in karaoke bars.
So you're judging a whole group of people based on what you saw a couple of people do? You're judging the whole country? By what grounds do you do that?
That I won't really go over here with...
You're being racist towards Japanese people, obviously.
You know, the big lip stuff and things like that. I believe...
You're judging a whole group of people based on seeing some stuff on TikTok. Yes, every country in the world has specific examples you can find on video of someone being mean to another group, right? That is not enough evidence to establish that the place is racist.
That is a form of racism. Should I not caution people on that? Should I not...
Look at this. He's trying to somehow twist it to... But I think you're a racist.
Say that while Japan has its benefits, it also has its drawbacks. Should I not be honest about that, Cracky? Or are you just here to defend Japan because...
Oh, I am. That is why I'm there.
It's okay for cultures to be racist.
Why wouldn't it be okay? Why is it not okay? Why is it not okay? Why is it not okay?
I mean, fine, Japan is what Japan is, but should I not warn somebody about that?
What are you warning for?
Let's say, hey, maybe before we adopt any
Why is it
specific...
bad? You don't believe in good and bad.
Cultural traits.
You don't believe in good and bad. You're using a good and bad metric that you're just hiding.
What some of the bad...
You're saying racism is bad, right?
Effects are.
How do you say that?
We're trying to...
You said there's no morals.
Stop here, Cracky. I'm just interested in why we're going down this route.
I'm using your own logic and I'm finding problems with it and I'm trying to point it out to you and you can't see it. That's what's happening.
You don't know why exactly they are treated differently. You're presupposing that. No, I don't care why they're treated differently.
It goes on a long rant like this.
I care that they're treated differently.
Cultural racism has kept many cultures alive. Well, that's true, too.
The why they're treated differently is no excuse.
excuse. As I see, they're already saying it's bad. Because why would you need an excuse unless it's bad? Well, I'm asking how you're judging that it's bad.
Why a black person is treated differently in Japan than a white person in Japan.
Again, how do you measure that as bad? You said that you don't believe in bad, it's just cultural norms. Then how do you say that's bad?
Is not of my concern. That they
And
are,
again, remember when they said, like, if they're going on their own intuitions, they say no. I'm just a part of a network. I'm not even a singular node deciding things. But hear this, how they talk now.
are treated differently is my concern.
My concern.
Why a Canaanite is treated differently by
Their concern is moral arbitrator. Am I wrong?
Israel than an Israelite is not my concern. That they are treated differently.
My
is.
concern. Why are you concerned? Because you're making moral judgments.
Why a Palestinian child is treated differently on the Western world stage than an Israeli child is treated is not my concern. That they are treated differently is my concern. The why is meaningless. The how is how things are actually unfolded in the world. You can have all.
Why is the intent not important? On what planet is intent not important? Can you imagine a criminal justice system, as you know, people love talking about, if they didn't care about intent at all? Like, come on, that's ridiculous. We know fundamentally that's ridiculous.
All of the cultural and historical reasons in the world you want. But at the end of the day,
what metric do you use? End of the day. What is the end of the day? Exactly. What is the end of the day? God? Are you saying by God, some kind of God, which is you? What are you saying? End of the day.
those are excuses.
For how can you say it's bad to need an excuse? By the end of the day, by God's judgment, by your judgment, by whose judgment?
Those are just trying to excuse and come up with excuses for shitty behavior. I can tell you
How do you, by what metric do you use shitty behavior?
why I was a right-wing libertarian before I
All of a sudden they're talking about this, I'm like, oh my God.
transitioned.
I did
can
not care about this.
give you all of
And again, I'm trans again. Did you guess I was going to go there eventually again for like the third or fourth time?
the whys.
Listen, I have one tool in my intersectional tool belt, okay? I'm going to keep talking about it so I can use it to beat you with, obviously. What else would
But
I
it
do?
doesn't excuse my shitty behavior.
What else would I
can tell you
do?
why I once told a man to put a weapon in his mouth and discharge it.
That's fucked up. What the fuck? You judging me? I never did that. I never did that, bro. Man, I never did that.
That doesn't excuse the shitty behavior of what,
Oh, yeah, you. I didn't do that.
what I did.
You want to be treated differently than other men. I say, well, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So I don't really necessarily care about the why. I want to make that very, very clear.
Yeah, it's true.
The why something happens might be great for a narrative.
A narrative. Now, all of a sudden, it's about narratives. Again, I'm asking them to establish why it's a bad thing even, right? Like, they're not getting it, no matter how I'm putting it. I'm trying to keep rephrasing it, but they've already judged me. They're already, like, just waiting for the right word to ban me, you can tell.
It might be great for therapy.
They're saying I'm doing a narrative, or I'm doing a slippery slope, or I'm doing whatever. They're trying to prime people to think these things.
It might be great for coming up with
Therapy. I'm sure you go to therapy, right? Felicia?
a reason why, or a reason for why a prison sentence is shorter than other people feel like it should be. But at the end of the day, the why is just a narrative. The what
Okay.
is what's important. The what is what actually.
And again, I've asked like three. I'm trying to talk to him the whole time during this monologue here. I'm saying, you don't know why exactly they're treated that way. You're presupposing that, which is something I said a while ago, right? Then I say two more messages. They're right back to back. Like, they're choosing to take their freaking time with his monologue here. You're making the claim what their intent is. You have to prove it. And then I go, okay, then tell me what your definition of racism is and make sure it doesn't include intent. Now, I don't think that's a ridiculous request. They're saying The results don't matter. I mean, they're saying only the results matter. Okay, well, just tell me what you think racism is by your definition, right? Which they haven't given me the whole time. Just give me your definition of racism then, so we can reason around that. Let's just establish terms so it's clear what we're talking about, right? It's a pretty simple request.
Causes harm in the world.
Now, would you believe that's what ends up leading to my demise? That question, would you believe that? Would you believe that question is what leads to my demise? My demise is this. Okay, then tell me what your definition of racism is and make sure it doesn't include intent. Would you believe that this little part here, little request there, leads to my demise? Leads to my brutal slaughtering in the chat? Would you believe that? Would you believe that is what leads to it? Oops. Boiling a little bit there.
I can tell you why I chose to be trans.
I don't, how many times did I hear about this?
What that did for me,
oh my God,
was monumentally more important.
I can tell you why I'm an alien, right? But I don't even talk about that. I'm a human. I tell everyone I'm a human, okay?
Important than the narrative.
I don't talk about that.
I can tell you why.
I don't even talk about that. I don't even talk about that. You talked about this 22 times.
I was thinking about entering seminary.
I don't care about that.
What I did was much more important than why I wanted to enter seminary.
Oh my God. All right, did they finally read my message? Now, well, notice what ones they skip over and stuff too, also. Notice what they skip over, notice what they read.
Doesn't matter for it to be racism?
Now, I put a question mark after that. They don't read it with a question mark, which I wonder what that's about. But you can see right here, I asked a question. I'm saying, doesn't intent matter for racism? Don't you guys think that racism would require intent? Cracky, you found yourself in an online echo chamber. Anything that shakes that foundation is considered an enemy and expelled. I did. You're right. You're right. I did. And well, I was curious who this cat lady was. I was like, I wonder who this is, right? I was like, huh? Who's that cat lady there? Oh. Oh no, I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque or whatever thing Bugs Bunny says.
Are we going to...
It's so funny to keep redirecting the conversation to your own personal bullshit over and over. I know, and this motherfucker... I know.
Intent doesn't matter for it to be racist.
Look at that. He doesn't even get... They don't even get... Man... Going to jail. Going to jail.
The intent?
So see, because they're confused, right? You know what I say? I say, hey. Okay, let's get on the same page. What is your definition? And if intent doesn't matter, tell me the definition without intent. Go ahead.
So what is the intent?
Yes, what is the intent?
Of calling a black man the N-word.
Good question. What is the intent? Good question. Exactly. That's what we wonder.
Disparagingly.
Yeah, why are they doing that? That seems like a dickhead. That person is a dickhead. Of course we should care about intent. That's how we determine crime. No? We determine we have a fair system. Well, not fair. But whatever. We have a somewhat fair system. Some people disagree on how fair. But we try to have a fair system. And what do we base it around? Intent. Because that's what people see as the most fair, generally, right? And again, this individual says they get their morals from the surrounding network, but not this one. This one, they decide.
In the cultural context of Japan, have anything to do with it still being racism.
And again, this fucking lazy ass shader, an NVIDIA shader, it's pissing me off. Is this some kind of NVIDIA ad? What is this? Did you put in 5 minutes of work on your stupid ass fucking stream? It's fucking an NVIDIA showcase ad. I'm installing NVIDIA drivers. What the fuck is this?
Still having disparaging results for the black person.
I can't stand it. I can't stand that stupid ass shader in the background. I can't stand it.
What does the intent What does the
It's just a
intent
loop shader. It's just a loop. It's not even music reactive. Hold on. Here. Do this. Can't stand it. We gotta finish this though. I'm almost done, I think. We gotta finish this somehow. Somehow. We gotta finish this. I gotta cover the full story. I gotta get to the end of the story. Cover the end of this. I gotta cover the whole story. Alright? Now, I was curious how long I could milk a 10-minute interaction. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm gonna smoke real quick. If anybody wants to join me again. And then we're gonna finish this, okay? What's it back on the tent when he calls his Ooh. Alright, we gotta come on. We got the end of the encounter happening in a moment. After this, I'm gonna end stream. And try to do something good today before I go to sleep. So we're gonna have another minute, and then I'm getting out of here. It's almost over. It's almost over. Let's let the song finish. Let me go smoke real time. Ooh. Now, could you tell right away that they were uncomfortable with me being there? I could. I knew from the start I was on borrowed time. I was like, oh no. It blows my mind though. Their own logic disputes everything they're saying. They said, again, I'll lay it out in a logical way that I think, where they first say they can't determine good because it's just cultural standards, right? And then they say that's their whole argument against Japan in the first place. And then they say, when asked if they have personal intuitions on what is good, they say no, they don't. They just use the network around them. They're not an individual node that determines anything. They flat out spell that out. But yet they can somehow determine I'm bad or whatever thing they're doing here, right? Individually on their own intuitions. This isn't their intuitions. This is, again, the oldest trick in the book. These fart sniffing duckers, dialectic people, they think they're doing something better than any of the rest of us can do. They think they're smarter than us. They think they should rule over us. Look. They think that they are the people in Plato's cave making the shapes to fool all the rest of us stupid idiots. You understand that? Here, look. The exoteric view, the good is the ultimate, transcendent father of reality, replaces Zeus as the moral anchor of the universe, the common good, like communists believe, right? The greater good, securing absolute justice and happiness. That's what they want the regular people to believe. But then they believe the esoteric truth. This is what people like this believe. The good represents human desire, eros. It is that which everyone wants, suffused into the very conditions of human knowing. This is why they're all weirdos that go like sex cults and they eat babies. This is why. It is the ruling principle dictating how we categorize the world, because they think that they're smarter than the rest of us, and they have a right to judge the rest of us by these metrics, and to live their best life, which is just following their desires mindlessly. No higher purpose, no higher calling, just pursue, well, in fact, their higher calling is to control the rest of us. And this is an ancient thing, man. The reason people don't notice it is just because they make it so we can't read. It's really that. It's really because they purposely, like, you know, try to make people dumber. Is why. It's right here, man. If I'm wrong, okay, point it out, man. With, like, not just craziness. Like, give me an argument. Just ban me, I guess.
ICE officers who, let's say they signed up.
Oh, ICE officers. Of course, we got to go through all the Political talking points. ICE officers now.
Intent
I don't care about fucking ICE officers.
of protecting America or making America great again.
See, they think I'm MAGA, right? They think I'm MAGA. That's why they're telling me this way.
With that,
I don't
intent,
fucking care about ICE officers. That's why they brought up their stupid gender, too. Because they're like, you're going to say that gender is not a thing or whatever. Well, okay.
How does that stop them from conducting racist actions against immigrants?
Oh, my God. ICE is racism. Blah, blah, blah.
How does that narrative?
Blah, 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 blah. Call me talking point. Blah, 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 blah. I watch the news. I watch social media. I agree with.
How does that narrative stop that?
Again, this person tries to pretend, look, like there's some kind of thinker. Life, atheism, work. No, you have religion. It's a dialectic. What is purpose and meaning in a world of mundane things? Let's get the work week started with some coffee. Friendly chat. And at first, when I read that, I was like, bro, this is the most negative shit. The person keeps like dismissing a bunch of people in chat. And like, this is not friendly. This is not positive. All are welcome. Oh, okay. All are welcome. Theist, atheist, agnostic, mathematical constructs, and explosive space modulators. Look at this. All are welcome. So I'm like, okay. Me too? No? Wait, what's wrong with me?
Trying to understand where you're coming from, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why the narrative
I smell some racism.
is important. Much more important than what is actually happening. I don't get it.
All who think the same are welcome. I know. What the heck, man?
You're making the claim what the intent is. You have to prove it.
Now, if you look, okay, multiple times, this is why I notice when I first ask, okay, right here, look, what's your definition of racism? And make sure it doesn't include intent. I ask once, right? I notice they skip it. So I'm like, wait a second. I got something here, right? I notice they have a weakness. They're skipping that sentence. They didn't skip anything else I said, but they're skipping that sentence. Why are they doing that? They're pretending not to see it. But the chat was like dead at that point. There was no way they didn't see it. So I'm like, okay. Okay, so then I ask the next thing. You're making the claim what their intent is. You have to prove it. Then what do I say? Okay, then tell me what your definition of racism is and make sure it doesn't include intent. I say it again. I say it again. Do they ignore it again? Do they ignore it again?
I'm not making a claim of what the intent is.
They skip over it again?
Racism isn't an intent. Racism is an effect.
Now, what do I do? Because I notice they're doing that, I say it a third time. Right? Once they start going on some long tirade example, trying to make the point some sideways baloney way, I say, okay, I can't follow, but here's the problem. I can't follow you if you don't tell me what racism means. I say, I can't follow any examples if you don't give me your definition of racism, which I think, again, is a totally fair question. I don't see how I was out of line to ask it. Watch what happens.
Do you think being racist is just overtly hating black people? Is that what you think? Do you think racism is
Carl, you are an ICE officer. Oh, this year
is an overt hatred of black people?
I can't ask this question. I can't ask them the question. I'm not allowed.
Because it's much more systemic than that.
Nothing is real, but systemic is. Okay. We can't know what good is. We can't know what how do religious people even know what good is? I don't know. They can't. It's just cultural norms. Okay. Well, what about what you're saying? Systemic.
Like
is
you
wrong
could be
systemically.
Racist, and you could still not ever intended to harm black people, right? Like you could be racist.
So he's going on this whole example, right? And I'm like, okay, well, tell me what racism is.
Not ever intend to harm somebody of another race.
For the third time, by the way, because I noticed they skipped it 2 times now.
Just like you could be ableist and not intentionally try to.
Does this even make sense? They're ridiculous example.
Harm
Listen
somebody
to this.
who's disabled. Like, let's say
their brain is overheating right now. It's like, what is he saying? I don't understand. Like the gears are smoke coming out of the sides of his ears.
Let's say, for example, you're working
How do I must use roundabout gymnastics? Cannot engage.
on, let's say you own a store,
Yeah, say some ridiculous nonsense. Okay.
right? You own,
I'm just asking you what racism is. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
let's say you own a store and you need
What's racism? Let's say you own a store. Okay.
to be able to, you need to be able to pack in more product on your shelves.
Uh-huh.
But in order to do that, you have to reduce the width of the aisles.
Uh-huh.
And let's call it a small.
Reverse dialectic. Reverse dialectic, dingus. Right here. An example of reverse dialectic. Example of reverse dialectic right here.
Store too. Let's call it a bodega, right? Let's call it a bodega in New York City. Let's not even go big box.
Let's say it's Mexicans run it, okay? Let's say it's Spanish. Because let's say it's not racism. Let's say it's some Spanish guy. I gotta remind you that I'm an intersectionalist, and so there's multiple layers of possible oppression. Not just it could be some white guy. It's a bodega.
Box store. Let's go.
Maybe
bodega.
it's an Indian.
Okay. But you know that there is a very strong equality between the number of products you have on the shelves and the amount of money you make. And you are getting a little bit desperate. And you're like, I need to make more money.
We're getting super desperate.
I'm
so we make
behind on my bills. I need to make my lease payments.
So we make stairs into the building.
I'm going to lower the width of the aisle.
We get a wheelchair ramp, but every time somebody comes in on a wheelchair, we roll them out of it. It's actually an exit-only ramp. That's what we do. We notice that lots of people in wheelchairs are loitering around, and you know what? Get rid of them. They're not. They buy one thing. They're taking up too much space. Get rid of wheelie.
Just a little bit. Just a
No, John. Not just a little bit. We build in a catapult, and we put all people with any disabilities in it, and we launch them out of the store because they're taking up too much space.
enough for me to get another shelf in, so I can get more product in. But in doing that, you inadvertently tighten the width of the aisle.
See, negative dialectic.
So much so that a person in a wheelchair cannot get through the aisle.
Even though the person didn't intend that, it's wrong and ableist because of the negative dialectic, right? Because they weren't thinking about the person with the disability, so it was ableist. But by that logic, by that negative dialectic application, everything is bad. That's what they don't get. That logic doesn't work very well. It makes everything bad. It makes everything broken forever. And they know that because they're using it that way on purpose. But, for example, every store on earth most stores don't have Braille. Ableist. Incorrect? Or am I right? Every single store without Braille, according to this person, is ableist. Then you can go further. Everyone without notifications for people that can't see or hear, right? Whatever kind of weird things. There's not like hearing aid, shout speakers or something. Well, ableist again. You can say whatever they're missing, you can find somebody in the world with a disability that is in disadvantage because of the setting, right? Because they don't even live there, so who even cares? But they can find that, and then through the negative dialectic, the fake logic this person is using, you can say, bam, bad, we need to fix that.
And cannot shop at your store. You didn't do this on purpose. You didn't do this to spite people in wheelchairs, but you did it anyway.
It's just the negative dialectic. It's not real logic.
Now,
it's saying the negative dialectic is if you don't think of something, like what you're saying implies to the detriment of everything you're not saying. So you can say, like, an example is like, you're like, wow, it's nice to be tall. Well, then you are insulting short people, you see? Oh, it's nice to be skinny. Oh, you're insulting fat people. That's what they're doing. That's the way of thinking.
Ignoring the law and ignoring all that stuff.
It's just a tool to try and get power over you and make you feel bad. That's all it is.
Still ableist for doing that.
Would anybody on Earth agree with that? Besides communists?
Because you have now hindered the life of the disabled person. Does that mean you did it intentionally? No. But you're still able.
FFFL. What's FFFL?
The intention doesn't have to be there for the result to be harmful.
See, That's why everything they do is deranged, because they think that way. They use the negative dialectic like that. The problem with it, of course, is it's unsustainable and nonsensical. Like they believe it, right? You can see this individual believes what they're saying, but it's clearly nonsensical, and you can't keep it up, because you could find any example to say somebody's ableist or whatever thing, and you can use that to get them to pay money, to get some power over them, to get them to say yes on something. It's all just a play to get power over the person that you're using it against. It's not like logical. It makes no sense logically. Here we go. Third time I ask.
I can't follow any example.
Here, look at that. Look at that. He's not happy about that. He's not happy about that. Not happy about that.
If you don't give me your definition of racism, really, we're going to play this game.
Look. Did you know that would be my downfall, guys? Did you know that would be my downfall? They've said no more with this guy.
Game. All right.
And I'm like, I already know. I'm already talking here. Look, you'll see right when I start typing.
Listen, man, if we're going to play this game.
We'll play this game.
I'm sorry.
Did you see what I said? Did you see all the things I said? Right? I can't follow any examples if you don't give me your definition of racism. What do they say?
That if we're just going to play the definition game so you can try and squirm out of your MAGA...
Oh, I'm doing what now?
The wormhole of being...
Squirm out of your MAGA wormhole. You hear this?
Racist. But I am now done with the conversation.
Oh, okay. All welcome, right? All welcome, except... Don't ask me to define a word. That's ridiculous.
Unfortunately, we have tried to get...
I just asked you a question. I said, what's the word mean? So I can follow what you're saying.
To the point of some sort of understanding, but...
Oh my God.
Now I need to define racism for you.
You do. Yeah, because I don't know what you're talking about.
I am not going
By what metric do you say racism is bad? That's what I'm asking. So give me your definition of racism, because I don't get why it's bad if you can't say intent is involved. And they are saying intent is involved. That's the only way we judge something as bad is by intent, right? The rest of us judge people as bad by their intent. We don't judge something as bad just because someone tells us it's bad. Sociology science tells us it's bad, so we have to consider it bad. Why is it bad? You can't give me any argument why it's bad. And I ask, can you just define the word then? I just want to understand what you're saying. Can you define the word so I can see the logic is consistent? Oh, no. I'm a racist now. I'm a MAGA chud. I'm in a MAGA chud hole. Okay.
to play the Dyer game of
Oh yeah, Dyer game. I've watched Dyer one time.
Suppositional racism with you.
Suppositional racism. What?
Okay. So you are...
What is that?
You are not just being put in timeout.
Oh, I'm not... Listen, I'm beyond saving. I asked what the definition is. I'm beyond saving. Are you kidding me? Look at me. At this time, I'm like, oh, I'm a racist now. Nice one. No, you didn't even try. I'm already banned probably at this point when I'm talking, right? You judged me from the start. I noticed right away he was hunting me. They were hunting me.
You are being absolutely excommunicated.
Oh, very tolerant. Very tolerant. Very tolerant, thank you. Real tolerant and nice. What did I do? I tried to understand them. Their logic is inconsistent. Their logic is incoherent. I'm asking questions to show that. They refuse to even answer a definition.
From the community?
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm banished from the community. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm banished. I'm banished.
And yeah, I wanted...
What was booze? Okay, look.
To have a nice intellectual conversation with you.
Oh, right, you did. Yeah, totally.
But now we're going to get into the I need you to define racism for me.
Yes, because you're saying it's bad, and you're saying I'm making excuses for it. So what is it? What am I making excuses for? At least let me know what my crime is. At least tell me my crime. I have a right. The accused has a right to know his crime.
Nonsense.
No, not nonsense. The accused has a right to know his crime, okay? And you should shave.
Well, no. All right, we're here to have conversations. We're here to learn things. So,
pluck your eyebrows.
Goodbye.
Jesus Christ.
Just absolutely... Absolutely. I keep trying. You're the one that started this, by the way.
Wrong thing. Just started this. When did I start? I asked simple questions. Yeah, I opened the conversation and tried to talk to you like a human being.
Like, I keep trying to have these good intellectual conversations with dishonest people.
In what way was I dishonest? On what planet was I dishonest? What am I doing dishonest now? Am I dishonest now? What did I do, man? How am I dishonest? And to call me MAGA and just lying about me, too. You're the dishonest one. I'm not MAGA. I've never even voted. How can you call me MAGA? I never even voted. And who is lying about who? I didn't. What line did I say about you, and what lies did you say about me? A bunch right there. You said a bunch out of your butthole. Okay? Name one I said about you. I'm dishonest. What was I trying to do that was so dishonest? Get you to make sense? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being so dishonest by trying to understand the logical reasoning underpinning your argument. And trying to stand up when you say something ridiculous and say, hey, that's a little ridiculous. You can ban me if you want, but be honest about it.
That was just...
What? That was what? That was what? That was what? That was what? I don't even ban people. And this individual is telling me I'm the jerk?
Now we needed to fall back to, well, what do you think racism is?
No, I'm asking if, yes, because you're not making sense to me. If I'm saying that, I can say tribalism defines racism. I mean, it could be used to define the same things you're talking about as racism. I think tribalism covers it just fine. And he goes, oh, why are you trying to take away, why are you trying to soften racism? Well, why does it matter what I'm doing? Why is it bad? Why is racism even bad? Because by your worldview, again, you think that you don't have any intuition of what's right and wrong, and you just believe in what people around you believe. That means you get your intuition, your morality, from your surroundings. That means you are defined by your cultural norms. So on what ground do you stand on to then look down and judge? I'm saying don't judge people. I'm not the dishonest one here. I'm saying you're out of line judging Japan. You're out of line. You're out of line judging Japan, sir.
What do you think racism is? And you didn't want to give me a definition of what you thought racism was? I gave you...
You started this by judging a whole country of people that have never done anything to you whatsoever. No Japanese person ever did anything bad to you. And yet you're judging their whole society, their whole culture. By what metric? By what rubric do you stand on? By what morals, what God do you worship that allows you to judge Japan?
You an example of how you could be...
You were telling people to put guns in their mouth. Okay? You need God.
Be racist?
You need a God. You should find one. I'm not doing that. You're the one that should be looking into that. Some kind of health line.
How you could be ableist without intentionally being it, and you kept...
I know it was the live topic. Yes, well, I know. I just came here because of a headline about Japan being racist. What do you mean?
Dodging it. I don't know, man. Like, you could be transphobic, you could be homophobic without intentionally being it. That doesn't say that you're a bad person. That just means that, oh, hey, your action propagated this. And it's a mistake. I make the mistake too all the time. I do it all the time. I accidentally step...
Again, you saying what you do has nothing to do with me.
Step on toes. It happens. And when
you would like to be banned for it when it happens? You would like to be banned from the chat when you do it?
When people point it out to me, I apologize.
Oh, right. And then you get banned from the chat. When they point it out to you, they ban you from the chat. That's what you do.
That's all.
When people point out, you ban them from your chat.
You fell into the racist trap?
Oh, well, actually, I did. I did win, I think. I got a knockout from chat. I think.
No, see, the thing is, I was really trying my best to get him out of...
If it makes you feel better, I'm not nearly as racist as I am. Headline was about Japan racist, but Japan makes me think of Craig Reed, so I came here. Ah, okay. Well, I'm not covering that. We could cover that though. Do you have a link to that, Nintendo? I was talking about a separate thing. That is a coincidence, I guess. This person, I went into their chat and they said Japan was racist, and they said, on what grounds do you say that? Because earlier they said that they get their morals from their surroundings, and they also said that you can't judge what's good or bad through cultural norms. And so I tried to ask them, how are you judging Japan then? And I went into the whole thing about it, and I did not at any point say anything rude that I saw. And yeah, I was a little bit like, hey, if you're saying this, give me an example. I asked for a definition of what racism is then, and they banned me. That's the story.
His racist Dyer, Jim Bob.
Oh, see? Jim Bob.
Nonsense, presuppositional.
I'm just whatever guy you don't like. See, they watch Dyer and they watch Jim Bob, right?
Trap. I was really trying to get him out of his MAGA trap.
MAGA trap.
As best as I could, but
this is a talk about me, by the way. Me.
Like, it really, like, I
tried to talk to him. I was open-minded. I just tried to understand what you were saying, how your logic made sense. You say you're atheist, and the reason you're atheist is because you don't think morals like really exist. You think they're culturally given to you by your surrounding network, and you comply with that. You what do you say? Consensus. You have consensus with that. And I said, okay. Well, if that's how you get it, then how do you say that Japan is racist? How do you say it? I was going to say, aren't you being racist? Because it is racist. He's saying a whole country is racist because he saw some guys on TikTok say something rude to a black guy or whatever thing. Just because there's an example of an individual being racist does not give you grounds to call the whole country racist. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Now, you can call a whole country anything you want then. Right? You can find bad examples of everything. On what grounds, if you care about racism, do you judge Japan?
Smelled it from a mile away, John, but like, he just wants to keep playing that game.
Hey, Shinny.
Like, and it's just like, man.
I wasn't playing any game. I was literally, like you guys saw, I explained it, right? I'm just trying to understand how it logically makes sense. And they couldn't answer that.
And can't we elevate this just a little bit? Like,
it's not saying elevate. You didn't even answer my question. I think it's more than fair to say, hey, can you describe what the term is then? I'm saying, hey, I think intent matters. You say intent doesn't matter. I think for something to be racist, intent matters. They said no, only the results matter. Okay, well then what is your definition of racism then? And they go, okay, banned. Okay, well how am I supposed to understand what you're saying? I was open-minded talking to you.
Trying just a little bit to get you to elevate, and he just doesn't want to elevate.
Maybe the problem is you're in the dirt, and I'm not, and you're looking down on me from in the dirt, and you're looking at your toes. You ever think of that?
And that's like the worst part about
it. You're in the mud, looking at your own toes, and calling me the mud.
About it? That's the worst part.
I'm in front of you. You ain't even looking at me. You looking at your own toes. You ain't even looking at me. You don't even know me. You call me MAGA chud. You don't know the first thing about me.
Of discussing things with these people like that?
These people like that. You just judge everyone you disagree with and you call them the exact same thing. Because I didn't even vote. How can I be a MAGA chud? Huh?
I'm working on starting my own morning show at 9 a.m. because of certain reasons. All right, Detroit Atheist Queen.
Hey, Shinny. Did you see Southern Poverty Law Center scandal about them funding the KKK and neo-Nazis? I don't know if I listen to half Japanese, but I listen to people. I would listen to the story about it. Like say, hey, this thing happened to me. Like I would listen to the claims, right? And I wouldn't just say they didn't happen. But what I'm saying is, I still wouldn't be like, oh, okay, culturally. Like, yeah, it would have to be from somebody that actually, for some reason, deeply understood Japanese culture. Either, I mean, like, they could be like a second-generation Japanese. Maybe I would listen to them, but maybe not, because I don't even know if they know the first thing about Japanese culture. I'd be looking for expertise on it. It'd probably be like a Japanese person that maybe disagrees with Japanese culture is who I would look to. because they would know the best, I would think. Someone that's actually in Japan, just doesn't agree with the culture and has some issues with it. They would probably be the most well knowledge on the topic, or somebody that's like moved there for a long time or whatever, or something like this. Then I would listen to those people. But again, I wouldn't necessarily take their opinion and go, okay, that's true, they're racist. I'd be like, okay, that person thinks they're racist for this reason, blah blah blah, and I would just hold that as that, right? I wouldn't make some judgment. I would need a lot of evidence suggesting that to be true to really start believing it like an axiom and a thing I accept. But this person just believes it without any, because they saw TikTok videos of some Japanese person being rude to some black guy or something. Okay, that doesn't prove anything. Having an example of some random thing like that doesn't prove anything. You can find examples like that all over the world of different things that you can't say about a whole group of people based on such little context. It's just ridiculous.
I'm looking forward to that.
They're scary. It's just lack of exposure. Well, I mean, we don't even know, like, I would maybe listen to a black guy that went to Japan and lived there for a while, right? I would listen to him. He would at least be able to tell us a fair amount of, like, how people react in different situations. Like, he would have a lot of experience. I would listen to that guy. Like I would listen to his stories. I'm still not going to judge the whole country based on his experiences, but I am going to listen, and I would put those, like, okay. And I would try to understand what he's saying, right? I wouldn't disregard him. I think that would be the person I would ask if it was like, who do you ask? Would be somebody that like lived in Japan for like a decade or something, and lived around Japan too, not just like in one city or like one location, like lived a couple places. And even then, just because they say it doesn't mean they're interpreting it right. Like, I don't, and here's the thing, I don't know why, but the bigger issue is, by what metric does this individual even judge racism as bad? That's my bigger question, which of course they're never going to confront that. But they're saying religion isn't real. Why? Because you can't really figure out what's good and bad. Because we just adopt the morals of the network around us. That's the reason they gave for good and bad, evil and good. So if that's what they use as their moral compass, how do you say racism is bad? Is that not just a different cultural standard? How do you stand up above it and look down at racism and say it's bad? That's my bigger question, is the underlying moral framework of this individual.
Forward to that.
Because how does that make sense?
What is racism?
If you don't believe in like a real good or a real bad, then how is racism bad?
I mean, it's a weird question to ask.
No, I'm not saying racism isn't bad. I don't necessarily like it. But how do you judge a culture and say it's bad for being that way if it helped them survive? You can't. There's no way to do that. Then I can see from that standpoint of cultures define your morals. I don't see how you judge it that way.
Yes, because like fundamentally, like, do you have a problem with
See, they're just trying to call me a racist.
Do you have a problem?
And it's not, words aren't defined. Words are used to mean what the speaker implies. They're not defined like that. That's midwit nonsense. You're thinking like a midwit. Do you know a second language, Felicia? Can you tell me about your second language you know? You know a second language? You're talking about Bible or whatever. You know Latin?
With the actions words? Because fundamentally, I don't care about the narrative.
Again, who cares what you care about? You already said you don't decide anything. The environment around you does.
I don't care about the why. I care about the result. The result is what's important.
Let's see how many times they talk smack. Then I'm going to go back to them saying that again.
Good. Your actions sucked. I don't care how...
More harm than good. What?
I don't care what the good reason
So how do you even judge harm as bad?
was.
How do you judge anything as good? You already said earlier. I'm showing it in a second. I'm going to go back to that because that's the biggest.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Everyone except.
Thank you, Theo.
Everyone else.
John.
They say everyone else.
Pretty much everybody else who's.
Everybody else. No thank you for me? The least you could do after kicking me out is say thank you, right? They look Philippine. Least you can say is thank you. Okay, so hold on. Let me find the part, and then I'm done with this nonsense.
Which again goes to the frayed edges.
Here, it's here. It's here. Listen to this. Listen to their view. Okay, I'm reasoning from within their view.
Has not conformed. Not that
they accidentally say conform. Wait till here. Let's go back.
Theism being irrational, but
see, they're making the case that theism is irrational, that religion is irrational. Why?
I don't necessarily follow what I think.
I don't follow what I think. Listen,
is right or wrong.
I don't follow what I think is right or wrong.
Right, because what I think is right and wrong is actually shaped by an entire network, complicated network of things. We collapse that into this simple idea of subjectivity. But
you understand
the problem?
How there's a contradiction in what they how they believe good and evil works versus what they think.
Doing that is apologists will take the idea of subjectivity.
See, because when they're disagreeing with apologists, with the religious people, they believe this way. But then when they're disagreeing with somebody else that's not religious, like me, right, coming at their beliefs, all of a sudden they know what good and evil is. All of a sudden they know what's bad and good. But when it's theists, they say no, you can't know. But when it's them, they go, yeah, I know.
And equate it with, it will commit an equivocation fallacy with arbitrariness. And so I'm very hesitant to say that I follow what my intuition of right and wrong is. I necessarily
nonetheless, they know intuitionally racism is wrong.
Don't.
How?
I follow the network I'm a part of.
They even say earlier, they say, how do you know pain is bad?
And keep in mind that goes deeper than just me as a unit, because it goes into my brain structure, it goes into the network relation in my brains, the neurons, and all of that stuff as well. So there's no like.
I'm just following the logic they present.
There's no like Felicia here, right?
There's no Felicia here. Do you understand?
There's no Felicia
they don't think they even exist.
Just
yet. When it's racism,
sitting in space, going, Felicia thinks this is good. Felicia thinks this is bad. There is Felicia here who is saying, these patterns have worked for me. Agreeing with these things have worked for me. I necessarily agree with these other things.
This is their view of good and evil when it comes to religion. But when it comes to the things they actually think are good and evil, all of a sudden they're sure.
Because these are derivations of other things I have agreed with, and other things that have worked for me and my family unit and my friends' units, and things like that. There's no necessarily individual vote of confidence here. So it's interesting, but like from my point of view, it's not an individual node has made this flag and magically come across, a set of morals that everybody.
So he believes in relative moralism or something. It seems like it. Yes, it seems like it, right? I mean, it seems like people. He's saying it really complicated. He does believe in the Platonic forms. We covered that earlier. Hold on. He does believe in Platonic forms. We covered that earlier. Yes. We covered that earlier. Hey, Wayne. We covered that earlier. He does believe in this kind of thing.
But he agrees on it's this unit in a network of relations has not conformed. That's not the word I'm looking for.
It is. That's a slip, but that is what you're looking for. You're talking about. You're very complicatedly saying you conform, is what you're saying. You're a conformist.
Has
literally what you're saying.
Has agreed with the consensus on the rest of the network. That's kind of like what it is.
He's describing conformity. They're saying that they have this complicated way of thinking about how they conform with their environment, and they don't actually determine anything, except that racism is bad somehow.
From my point of view, on
what the fuck is that for
morals are. Okay. So,
well, I gotta get out of here in a second.
To be fair, I mean, like the thing that keeps like the atheist online community like honest.
Let's see. There's one more part they say here,
or anyone else like myself, right? To the other atheists of the world. I mean, not all atheists are the same. My guts because I'm trans. So they're friends of the consensus.
There you go.
It's just kind of
They're further
what it
consensus. You get
is.
it?
Like,
So
it's-
how, again, logically, do they, this is my question to them, if they watch this is my question, by what grounds do you determine racism is bad? You keep saying we need an excuse for it. How do you determine it's bad when you've already established you don't believe in good and bad on from a religious standpoint? How do you construct some kind of argument now that what you believe in sociology, your religion, the dialectic, which we all can see through now, you are a dialecticist. You're not an atheist. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're not an atheist. You believe in the dialectic. That's what you believe is the ultimate kind of thought. And you call it sociology. But you believe in the dialectic. Let's just be honest here. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you want to watch the VOD, I think it was pretty spicy today. Pretty fun. Have a good one. We'll be back tonight with I'll play you guys out too. I'll put a song on as I leave. But have a good day, and what's tonight? More Origami, and then Carl in the morning again, I think. Maybe Dragon Quest 3 this time in the morning. Maybe some Dragon Quest 3. I've been meaning to get back into that. That'd be fun, I think. So more Origami tonight, right? And then some also make sure you sign up for Scamboard if you haven't, etc., etc. Have a good day. I didn't mean for that to knock.
Do you know who Akira the Dawn is?
Of course, he's amazing.
I only desire the approval of a relatively small number of people who I respect. If they said to me, I think you're totally wrong on this, Douglas, then I'd listen. But when it's people who don't want me to do well, then of course I don't listen to them. It's one of the tools we all have to hone in our lives, to work out who wants us to do well, who wishes us well, and to listen to them, even if they're critical of us, and they will be at times, and to separate out those people from people who just, of course they don't want you to do well. No, hate you, hate everything about you, whatever. But I don't have much sympathy with public figures who say, I can't say what I think, I can't speak up, and all this sort of thing. If you're not going to now, when are you going to? If you're not going to in this life, what life are you expecting to come where you'll do it? The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, the person who refuses to walk with the crowd will feel better. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob will achieve more in their lives, whatever that is, because they will have self-respect. I'm comfortable as you can be in the end times, as everything's burning down and there's plagues of locusts coming our way. And I have the satisfaction of knowing that I'm not lying. The problem with going along is that it demoralizes you. It makes you a smaller person inside. You will be demoralized because you'll know that you shouldn't have done that. And at some level you will think badly of yourself for having done it. You'll feel regretful, you'll feel cowardly, and it will affect your life in other ways. And the opposite is also true. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, the person who refuses to walk with the crowd will feel better. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob will achieve more in their lives, whatever that is, because they will have self-respect. That's what totalitarian movements across history always knew, was that you grind people down and make them agree to lies, because you will then be able to make them do anything. Václav Havel, great late Czech leader, cites the example of a greengrocer in Prague in the communist era in Eastern Europe, who has to put up in his window, like everyone else, the notice that says, "Workers of the world unite." And it's sent by party headquarters to all greengrocers, and you all have to hang it. Václav Havel says a number of things happen from this. The first thing is that, of course, that the greengrocer is showing to everyone that he is a party loyalist and he wouldn't be able to operate as a business if he didn't do this thing. But it also hangs there every day as a sign of his subjugation. It's a little thing, but it hangs there as a sign of his subjugation. And it reminds him he's not the man he could be. You think you're doing a little thing, but you're not. You are diminishing your soul by doing this. Because you know that you could be something more than the person who just has to hang whatever party headquarters tells you to hang this week. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who